They say, Fantin woman can say or fish or bone ratting. Did you think I knew, or did you think I mistook you for a rescuer? An old man who belongs to the dustbin of our history with a cake views, a man who cannot even operate a laptop computer? No, we settled. We made a compromise on you. That's what we did. We settled. We compromised. And we believed you were a good man, and we were sympathetic towards you. We in All Liberian Party. And after we sold you and touted you about and projected you as though you could rescue this country, and we called you Rescue One. How could you rescue the country when you could not even rescue your own finances? 12 years as vice president, we had to be begging for money all over the place, raising money to sustain you. What contracts did you establish as vice president? What? It shows today, everyone can see your campaign. Dysfunction of the juggernaut led by knock the wind out of your sail. The wind we put in your sail was figured out. How dare you call us insignificant when you were in political nobody after
when they were coming, they said they were freedom fighters. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. But when they beat Vietnam, they changed their mind. When they beat Vietnam, they changed their mind. What kind of people disagree with us? We are still that we're concerned about. We're not here to freedom fighter, you raping our women. Freedom fighter, you killing our children.
Which is
freedom fighter, you destroying our country.
he and his warlord, deranged, unstable warlord godfather. Come to power because we are used to, but neither Ellen nor we have brought Brain Johnson this close as you to Waka have brought.
When they were coming, they said they were liberators. When they were coming, they said they were liberators. But when they came here, they changed their mind. When they came here, they changed their mind. What kind of people they so? They are freedom fighters. What kind of people they so? The freedom fighter, you raping our women.
We are using to, but
the freedom fighter, you killing our children. Freedom fighter, you destroying our country.
Henry, and he has seen how looking. He said, Henry,
music.
$300,000 foundation. He's trying to make it look like it's money for the foundation. But the government says for coming to give you money. Do you really get comes to $300,000?
One more freedom fighter, they don't settle. One more freedom fighter, they don't settle. When they were coming, they said they were freedom fighters.
Oh, yes, indeed. What a great day. What a wonderful opportunity it feels to be back behind these microphones to engage on the issues that matter to Liberia's growth and development. And this is the tune. This is the song that sets the stage for Liberia most engaged breakfast conversation right here on Freedom 87.9 People's Radio. Good morning, Liberia. Good morning, just wherever you are this morning on our voice. What a great way we like to welcome all of you to a brand new week. And of course, an exciting edition of the nation's premier breakfast platform, the Freedom Money Rise on Freedom 87.9. Good morning to our keke riders, the taxi drivers. Good morning.
When they were coming, they said they were
our Yana boys, the market women, the farmers. Oh yeah, these are the people.
What kind of people they so? They are freedom fighters. What kind of people they so? They are freedom fighters.
Good morning to our friends in the diaspora, just wherever you are, on our voice this morning, across Liberia. And this broadcast is being carried on a host of community radios across the country. So Bapolu, Bombing, Grand Cape Mount, Mount Gibby, Grand Bassa, River Sets, Grand Crew, River G, Grand Jada County, Maryland, Sano, Nimba, Bonk, are all locked down this morning for 2026 BKS radio conversation with the man who presided over the fiscal arm of the pro government, the government of the people, the people's government. This morning, for your early morning breakfast, the Honorable Samuel D. Toure is our guest to run you over and explain to you just all that you need to know. And this promises to be an educative platform where all of the clarities are made. Oh yes. When it does settle, that's when we get the people to come around, and that's when the conversations go home. They go home really well. After all of the electoral noise and all of the other holo ballot, this is the most perfect opportunity for you, our lay people, to sit by your radio attentively and listen to why Samuel Toure and the CDC government, headed by Mr. George Manenwia, opted for a more pro approach, community rules, free tuition, harmonization, electricity expansion, water. Why did they consider that instead of increasing the salary of the big shots in the government? And they place the people at the center of the 6 years governance. We're going to be here to X-ray. My name is Abu Shari, and of course, this is going to be a panel conversation this morning. Team member include the Erida Kind, Oliver Kind, and of course, my own man Hagar Gona is also going to be here. So at 8 o'clock, the firework began. Hagar, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning to you, Abu. Good morning to all the Liberian people. It's always good to be back here, and gratefully we are here this morning to serve the Liberian people breakfast. And too many good things. Too many things to talk about. Too many things to talk about this morning, and it's good that we are here together to ramble you through up to 10 o'clock. Just too many things, Abu.
Oh yeah, certainly. So in the meantime, just to be munching on, you know, today the 55th national legislature to be returning today, and of course tomorrow next week Monday, the president is expected to deliver his SONA.
I think it's the 4th working Monday. So
which is going to be next
week after next.
We after next, okay. So that is that. But during the weekend we saw something where at long last we started seeing photos from China, where Deputy Minister of Public Affairs, Public Work for Technical Services, Prince Tamba, was seen in a video, and of course announcing that the government is in the process of bringing in some number of yellow machines, even though not the actual number that were promised, but they said they're doing that. But this is happening at a time where, and it's important to inform our people here, this is happening at a time where the government is already in court. Bidders and companies that went through the process, they feel cheated, they feel lied on, and I think the Caterpillar company, they're in court. And mind you, once upon a time, from the spec of machines we saw the Deputy Minister unveil, it clearly states that what the Ministry of Public Work and the Vice President office have opted to pursue is different from what the president had initially written them. Right? To and approved to bring. You remember that communication we read on the show here? So they are going for Chinese machine, just as we have always been saying. And one upon a time, but tomorrow we'll bring you the letter, right? The president had written the vice president, instructing him to bring in Caterpillar, a more durable, a more machine, which parts are available and all of that. But the vice president, based on too many things we've heard, have opted to bring in Chinese machines in the country. What's your take? Don't you think this is going to create some degree of discomfort between the president and, of course, his deputy, his principal deputy? The man say, I want Caterpillar. You go, you bring Chinese machine, and you pass it all around. The durability of these Chinese machines cannot be guaranteed. What do you think?
So, Abu, this is something that we've said from the onset of this entire thing about yellow machines being brought to the country. We've said this. There was a need for the right thing to be done, and up to now, there is still a need for the right thing to be done, so that at least we can have not just machines coming in this country, but we can have durable machines that when they come, they will serve the interests of the Liberian people. But unlike so, those at the helm of power, those who were entrusted with the responsibility to help procure these things, they too have their own personal interest, and as a result of that, they are not going for the interests of the country. Okay. So when it is about the interests of the country, you go for the durable ones. But when it is about your personal interest and political interest, you go for whatever you can do just to bring it in the country, the people see it, and then tomorrow what happened to it is not your concern. So there is a need. You can take taxpayers' money and go and put it behind something that you will bring in the country, and it will not serve the interests of the people. So up to now, as we speak, there is still a need for the government to do the right thing. The money we're talking about here, you're not doing free thing for somebody. Even though the president said before, it was one of his friends who were willing to. No,
that debate was laid aside.
Yeah, so I'm saying this to say that at this point now, it is made clear to Liberians that the taxpayer money we're talking about here, that money, if it is not used for the right purpose, Abu, it could be a waste. So if you are using taxpayer money, you should use it for the purpose that, yes, when the people have it, they'll get to understand why it is, and they will benefit from it. Okay. So the government, the vice president, and his team should not be politicizing this thing about the yellow machine and all of that, even though we are still receiving credible information.
So machine could come, but the durability
is a question. So
Chinese machines that could just break down any moment, and that will.
So, but Abu, the real reason for the coming in of these machines is political, the showmanship. Okay. It is not a genuine action that, oh yes, there are challenges with the issue of rules and all that purpose. They are bringing them in because they want the citizens to see, and because they want to make it appear like, oh, maybe we did this, or we are doing this, or we are doing more than that. That's why you see this is happening.
Okay, thank you very much. So that is that, folks. Just to basically set the stage for the big conversation right here on Freedom 87.9. And so at 8 o'clock, like we've said, we are going to begin the conversation. The house is already packed. We have our guests here already. And of course, the full panel is also set. Mr. Oliver Kine has joined. And of course, Hagar and I have been here this morning setting the stage for the conversation. This is the Freedom Money Rise on Freedom 87.9. And so let's take a walk with Crime Stopper Liberia, the sponsor and official partner of the Freedom Money Rise on Freedom 87.9 right here to get started. Freedom, let's take this break with Crime Stopper Liberia, and we will be right back.
Shabba musical. There are crimes in many places, in every community, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for the real authority. That it can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see you must take it. I mean you cheche. Do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is the official partner and sponsor of the Freedom Money Rise for Freedom 87.9, Liberia's most listened to and informative breakfast platform right here on the big station, Freedom 87.9. We're very honored to have this conversation this morning, looking into issues of the past, particularly the 6 years of former President George Manuel Weah and the CDC. And there is no better person to talk about all this than the man who presided over the fiscal management of Liberia for the 6 years period, Honorable Samuel D. Tuwe, an erudite Liberian intellectual who for many was seen ostracized by most of those considering themselves to be the intellectual elite of Liberia, simply because he decided to serve in the government that prioritizes the people, and he refused to look and see his education as a barrier between him and the ordinary people, reveal himself and refused to accept class and all of that. For that reason, many people believe D12 was not considered among his peers of intellectuals, and he suffered in post-war Liberia among most of those that have occupied that Ministry of Finance seat. He suffered more criticism than any. So sometimes the choices you make, the decisions you pursued, of course, can be something that you have to keep living after and, of course, providing answers to. So this is the Freedom Money Rise. My name is Abu Sharif, and to do this morning, we have Mr. Oliver Kine, and, of course, Mr. Hagar Gonda. The three of us are going to lead the conversation straight up to 10 o'clock, engaging the Elder Detour. To begin the conversation, let me go to my fellow panelists to introduce themselves while we set the stage. Let's begin with you, Kai. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, Abu, and good morning, Higa. Good morning. Liberia is wonderful. It is a wonderful thing to be back in the morning. At least I won't have my show this afternoon because this show is going to be on repeat.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, Higa, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning to you again, Abu, and good morning to all the Liberian people. It's good to be here, especially having the former finance minister to talk to the Liberian people. It's a great thing, and we are here together to ramble you up to 10 o'clock.
And again, the show is being carried across Liberia thanks to our community radios that are simulcasting
27 community radio
27
stations.
community radio stations across Liberia. And of course, we have online television that are also here carrying the program. Closing Argument is here, as well as Hope TV Liberia, Terra Online TV, Pupa TV, Truth Lens TV, Women's Voices, and of course, PAC TV, and a host of others that might join along the show. So with that said, the conversation is going to be, like we said earlier, particularly about providing the necessary clarities on policies and actions, and of course, intended to provide education for our people to understand what the Popo government was all about and the service and time of Honorable Samuel D. Toure. At this juncture, let me go across the table to welcome our guest, Honorable Samuel D. Toure. Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Good morning to Liberian people. Thank you, panelists. It's great to be back here at Freedom after several months. I remember the last time I was here, it was an engaging thing with Oliver, with
You came here as a minister.
yeah, AB, we are, and all of that. So yeah, this is the first time coming here outside of government. It's a great opportunity, and I look forward to a heartwarming, engaging conversation, an honest, factual conversation with the Liberian people. I think it's important to set the context why I'm here. I'm here because a lot of things happen under our administration.
Okay.
There were people who support CDC and who are still living with some doubts. And the current administration wants to benefit from that.
Okay.
The current administration, like myself, knows the facts and the truth. They are deliberately trying to distort the debate such that the truths never get understood by the Liberian people. And so January is a good month to begin this kind of conversation because the president will soon be delivering his State of the Nation address.
Okay.
All right.
So the whole conversation will be around, what the government has achieved in 2 years, what the CDC achieved in 2 years, and all that stuff.
Okay.
It's a very important context here.
I know we're getting into
You're going to go to other
yeah,
issues.
kind of 1 minute. So what we'd like to do in order to ensure that you have the latitude of time to provide all of the necessary clarities and of course responses to our questions, because we equally have some real strong questions here lined up for you as well. So we're going to go around the table. Let's begin with Higa Gonda, right? Higa will start with his round of questions and then we'll go around the table to begin.
So, Mr. Minister, it's good that you are here this morning. Again, let me say good morning to you specifically. You are here outside of our government job, now former minister. Let's get to firstly understand how is Minister Toure in health and maybe physically and everything.
Minister Toure is a very happy man out of political power.
Okay.
Having served the finance minister, you are aware that I am engaging some legal battles with people who are trying to destroy me politically. But that comes with the territory, so that's fine. It doesn't have any impact on my bearing, my health. I'm a thick-skinned political actor, so I don't fear criticism or I don't antagonize people who antagonize me.
Okay.
I was born for this stuff. So physically, I think I'm healthy. I do walk every day. I think last year I took 5,700 steps a day on average for 365 days. So I'm I'm very active physically in terms of, exercise, and I'm borderline diabetic, so I don't eat rice. I shed my rice. I don't do many of the things that will risk. So in other words, I say the thing that will kill me, I know that. So I try to avoid. I do a lot of quinoa and bulgur wheat. So physically, I'm fit. I'm in the right frame of mind, and I look forward to really engaging the country, engaging my party, CDC, engaging the opposition parties, other opposition parties, engaging the government particularly, because I don't care what you do, the people who have responsibility for the transformation of the country are the people who are governing the country at a given time. And so we have to hold their feet to the fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How tough are you, in terms of, bearing whatever you're going through at the courts? Recently, your defense counsel, went to the Supreme Court seeking for the court to trash whatever case that is against you. You talk about you being in court. What is it to you that the court is not granting your defense counsel, their preliminary applications? Do you see anything fruitful for you in the end?
In the end, I know what I'm being accused of, I didn't do. The law has to take its course, and I will respect the fight against corruption if it is an authentic, genuine one.
Okay.
We must all be held accountable for actions that we take, but we must be held accountable for those and our opponents should not try to make the public believe that we did something that we didn't do. So the due process of law is what that is.
Do you trust what you have been subjected to? I mean, the court system.
I think I would say that at the end of the day, justice will prevail in my case because the facts are clear. This is a national security situation.
Okay.
And, people like to compare it to, which is another mistake again, part of the clarifying process, the Browning Samuka.
Okay.
The Browning Samuka case is a private case. This case is public money versus private money.
Okay.
No president of the country has the authority to take your land, take your money, take whatever belongs to you using presidential authority. So it does not apply. The government has a responsibility over public monies.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's a key. So let's make sure the public understands that, because there's a lot of confusion in our people. And my job here today, and I'm glad that people all over the country are listening. I will speak slowly, and I will not carry the English too high. I will put it into Liberian English so our people understand, because we don't have too much time to make our people understand. Misunderstanding has consequences, and we talk about some of that misunderstanding that led to the consequences of getting us out of power today. Yeah.
Okay, in your intro, you talk about your presentation today, which will focus on what the current government is doing. Before you start that particular episode, the Liberian people, Abu, myself, Hagar, the rest of the people listening, want to know, where did you leave the country from the structural, perspective? Because no country can thrive when roads, electricity, water, a lot of other basic infrastructure are lacking. So where did you leave Liberia?
Okay, so before we get into that, because I understand you will go through the macro, you will go through electricity, roads. There's a whole 2-hour thing we do here. It's important first to set the context of why I'm here and what we will be doing over the next 3 years or so.
We're going to go there.
Yeah, no, that's the way we're going to go first. Why we are here? Somebody listen to me and say,
yeah, it's important.
The party lost, CDC lost the election. Why Samuel Twe cannot give the government chance to govern? Why is Liberians decided against you? So just sit down. Somebody is making that comment. Somebody is thinking like that right now.
Maybe they want to know at what point did you leave the country, which will give them a particular understanding of why you are making the case you want to make now.
No, I mean, I want to make the general context of our appearance here first. Okay, then we can talk about where I left my personal thing. What is important? Set the facts straight so that Liberians have the right information to make decisions about keeping a government in power, changing a government from power, what is happening in the country. All of us have to sign a commitment. Attempt for the debate not to be fair, not to be based on fact, to keep the people confused. And our job is to clarify for the people. Even if that clarity means I will have to admit things that we did wrong, I will provide that. Listen, I don't fear anybody. Okay, I'm not afraid of Liberian people to tell them the truth. Okay. The other thing I want to set here is that when a political party loses election, it is not the end of that political party. So there are people who say, you lost the election, you'll be destroyed. Let me tell you, there have been 42 elections in America since 1860.
Mhm.
The Republican Party has won 24 of them. So it means the Democrats have lost 24. The Democrats have won 18 of those elections. So it means the Republicans have lost 18.
Mhm.
But through the whoop and waft, through the whole process of that winning, losing, they define the art of American democracy and American development. Our people have to understand that here, that when you lose election, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because political parties, you lose election. The Minister of Information said they're trying to make sure that they do development in the country so CDC will never come back. So in other words, you know, is for the Liberian people to know that I don't care how you develop this country.
Okay.
There will always be a higher level for which the Liberian people, so which Americans have said, okay, Democrat did well 210, but let's see what the Republican can carry us to another level. So United Party, you are there now. 6 years from now, the Liberian people will look at United Party and say, well, there was a lot of confusion, but CDC, we don't like it. So that's it. So losing election, CDC should not, should not bow down in defeat and say, we're not coming to the public discourse. I'm coming to the public discourse today.
Okay.
With PND, pride and dignity, having lost election, because elections are won and lost on an information given to an elector at a time. Over time, they will improve upon that information, and that loss becomes inconsequential, and they will face the next process. It's always about the next process.
Once that means dishonesty in the public discourse, and you're seeking to set straight and all of that. So I'd like to go back a little bit on your case at the court. There are many people out there who do not have proper clarity on why Sameto is being pursued. What is it the government of Liberia is after you, and why do you think you cannot be here, or you should not be here accountable for it?
Well, I think the case is in court now. The Supreme Court is making some decision. I will refrain from going into the case, but I will just tell the public that I cannot be guilty because the way
are they after you because you were Minister of Finance?
Right, they've been after. Look, I wanted to say that in the intro. The way you introduced me,
okay,
the choice I made as being an educated Liberian, but choosing the side for that, I didn't even think of it that way. Okay. People will be after me. They've been after me for 6 years as Minister of Finance because they think I bring strength, clarity to national discussions, to governance processes. I'm an important linchpin in the CDC. And so they will say, if that man continues to be relevant, if that man continues to be stable, you will have problem. Yeah, and some of the successes we've had, which I will explain to the people, and the people know, some of which was distorted, is about that let's continue to demonize Sameto, let's continue to attack him, whether in government, out of government. Let's continue to keep him busy, or else if he's free and he will bring the government down, because he has the knowledge, the expertise, he has the skills to debate, he has the credibility with the Liberian people. He's a threat to your government, so you got to continue to keep him busy. I think that's just what it is. So I'm prepared for that. From my days of student politics on LU campus, a student, I've been a target, I've been all kinds of things. So I'm cooked for this kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, so, Minister, one will argue that you've been friends with the people. The argument that you're putting up now cannot suffice because you all been booty. But when you serve, it's about the merit of your service.
That's correct.
So I earn you the opposition and all of that. Would you agree with that?
No, I know the merit. So the part of the show is to say
how well did you serve?
Even the United Party people know we did well. But they will not come publicly to say so. So that's the deception we are trying to unmask.
And that's why we're asking you as to where did you leave the country?
So that's why we're coming there.
Okay.
So we will give you that in macro terms. Let's begin with macro. Because there can be no development in a country when macro is not straight.
Okay.
I can tell you as an economist, the first thing.
So what is the macro for our lay people?
Macro means that how prices are stable, how exchange rate is stable, how the government budget is performing.
Who's the bread and butter
issues, all of that. So in other words, we add all the big things about private sector. They say, let's look at the base macro.
Okay.
Yeah, the budget, the revenue. Are you collecting your own revenue? Are prices stable in the country? Is competition open such that people are not having too much influence? What is your macro situation? So by the common man, I what I mean by macro. So we look at prices.
Okay.
So there's this debate in the public, first of all, about web price is what prices now. The honest truth is that prices have gone up by 14% since CDC left office. The last
General prices.
The last time I made this claim, prices had gone up by 12%. I'm adding 2% to that now, so and say prices now stand at 14. So if something was $100 on the CDC, January 2024, I think January 8th, 2022, right? All right. Inauguration day. If something was $100, it is now $114. So the fact checkers can go. I know the fact check that the fact check the first time, and they say I was correct on the 12%. I'm adding 2% now.
Okay.
But I think this is as of we're in 2026. So I think as of end of November, that the data I'm giving, either November, so the December data hasn't come through with late just yet. So prices are high. I quoted the average price on Facebook in the challenge here. Average price, somebody say you can use average. The people who say I can use average, you tell them to go to school again. Yeah, tell them they know anything.
So why did you choose to use average?
Because that's the only, when there are 365 prices in a year, you got to take one. There's no way. There are two things you can do in statistics to get the price. So the price is from January 1 to every day, there's a price.
Okay.
So the economy will say, line all the price from 0 to 100. I mean, from the small number to the big number.
Okay.
Then take the one in the middle. They'll call that one the median price. That one way to do it. So median. So economy will put median. Say, so if you get 10 grade, 25, 50, 60, 70, you arrange your grade to 100. They say you must take the one in the center, half that your median score. Say, are you there? Okay. Or they say you won't do it that way. Add all the prices and divide it, or all the value and divide by the number. So there are two things we can do as economy. We take the median, we take the average. Usually in economics and statistics, averages are reported. So I put the average price of rice for CDC 6 years. Put the average price of rice before CDC 6 years. Put the average price of rice after CDC 6 years. Nobody has counted me to say, Mr. Tuel, you're lying. Here is the alternative data, because you know what? They have all checked all the prices and say Samuel Tuel is right. This is why we're telling you. It's a threat to you. The same thing for gasoline. So in a 6-year period, when you want concern standard of living, you look at the consumer price index. I already said generally it's 14 point higher. So that one should end the debate. The prices are 14 point higher. So no sound person who know economics in UP should be arguing with me, because there's a tendency for prices to go higher and prices higher. But even though there's a tendency for price to go higher, under George Weah, rice price did not go up, even though rice price should have gone up. So that's the critical point here. Why under George Weah, prices that normally go up under the law of economics, right? They'll go up always. They say they're sticky, they can't come down easily. But when George Weah rice price were around $16, average price around $16. Before George Weah took office, on his average is $14 for the 6 years, and United Party average is higher than George Weah average. That is an anomaly we attribute to Weanomics. This is why we say the CDC is a pro-poor party. So pro-poor means you do some things against the wind to keep the level down, because you have the interest of the people.
So 1 minute, and then come in. If you say rice price did not go up under the CDC.
No, I didn't. Let me be clear now. Okay, I did not say rice price did not go up. I'm saying they
beyond the
up,
average.
They're coming down. You take one price for 6 years.
Correct.
When the government reaches the 6 year, we do that senior analysis there to the government.
Okay.
We do the senior. I come and do the analysis to wage bill. I come and do analysis to goods and services. The money the government spent on goods and services for the 6 years before CDC, the 6 years during CDC, and going forward. So today we're talking about where things are supposed to be. What standard CDC left UP? What standard CDC inherited? This debate is about giving respect to and credit to where credit is due. I want our interlocutors, our opponents on the Unity Party, to respect publicly what they respect privately. That's what it is about. They acknowledge privately that we did some hell of a job here, but they cannot bring themselves to say so publicly. And the first evidence for that is that they are not able to undo the policies that we did, even though they ran against those policies and said they were going to scrap them. Harmonization. We'll talk about some of that again when we finish with the private. So it's just the essence of the discussion, bringing clarity and facts.
Come with second round of questions.
Yeah. To elaborate. So on the bread and butter issue, we are very clear that the general level of prices is higher, but more bread and butter issue like rice and fuel, CDC beat the before before he came to power, and is beating now. Now, it is quite possible in the next 4 years, UP can stabilize such that prices can come lower to CDC. But that's the pressure CDC is putting. That's why CDC is an opposition. The goal is that you have a CDC standard. The public in Lofa, Maryland, everybody have CDC standard. They won't see UP bring it below CDC standard, not carry it up. Anytime it go up, we come to them and say, no, UP stay carrying it up. So CDC standard still better. That's the standard.
But the guys are bragging about bringing the price of rice and petroleum products down.
No, I'm just telling you, we're going to look at it 1 year.
Okay.
So you look at it in a 6-year period. I can tell you, sir, the price of rice in on a John Ware brought price down from to $13. I can take 1 year $13 because it went up. The president had a meeting with, and we got to give the president credit. I've never seen somebody hold the dam. I've never seen somebody who, the dam, the reservoir when it's breaking, and you holding the water from overwhelming you. That's what George Weah did between 2018 until the Ukraine war, not even COVID. He was able to convince the Liberian business people who import rice that you will keep the price of rice at 13. He took it from 16 and he brought it to 13.
You were providing subsidy now?
No. Again, let's be clear. Subsidy did not start in 2018.
Okay.
Subsidy started with Ukraine war. So the problem when Ukraine war started, everybody go and say Ukraine was starting date. The problem with rice on the George Weah started when with COVID-19 with Ukraine war. So George Weah headed from 18 to 21. That means in that 3-year period, the price was 13. That's it. Everybody know that. One of the things I think we missed, I've been thinking about that. We didn't say much about this. All that time they did on election. But again, when the conspiracies and the lies are too much, people don't want to listen to the fact that somebody did somebody. You're in power, the incumbency factor. You are there, and people think, you're talking one day. Price was stable under George Weah before and during COVID, before Ukraine and during COVID. When COVID came, when Ukraine hit, the importers went back to the president and said, "Mr. President, there's no way. You can't keep us. We're losing now." Because Ukraine, because of the cost of bringing the product now has gone up because of the Ukraine war. Yeah, COVID time we could manage all that one. We're still streaming, but you got to get away now from in front of the dam, let the water flow. The president didn't want to do that. So we have to appeal to the president. You're out of the country. We say to the president, subsidy we will do for 1 year. You can do it, but nobody will advise you that any government will continue to impose subsidy on the country. So subsidies are stopgap because there was tension on the Ukraine war bringing the rice in the country. So poor confusion said, the rice are not available. Let's be clear. It was getting difficult because the people who are bringing it were not sure about the profit. So we had to give the subsidy to make it available at that time. Rice was always available between 2018 to before Ukraine war. It was during the Ukraine war that people started experiencing a shortage. People started taking arrests, all kinds of things that happened. We imposed the subsidy. Okay, for 1 year, but that's when the price jumped from that 3-year low and went to around 1750 or somewhere there. The public aware of that. So rice price increased. So then you have George Weah rice price being low for the first 3 years, then rice price going up because of Ukraine war. So this government is now trying to bring the price that went up because of Ukraine war a little bit down. That's a good move
towards where CDC.
Yeah, that's highly low. Yeah, but even though it will still be lower than CDC's lowest. So number 10 to the government, I commend the government for fighting to bring it down. If they can sustain that, that's a good policy.
So you want to bring it down below $13?
I don't know. You see, the market forces are the market forces. Wherever it comes down to, it means that what the demand and the supply.
Because it's comparative analysis now. That's what they have to do. They have to bring it down.
So right now, they bring it down to our average yet. They may bring it down to 1 year. So it's down below 2023. My thing today is that I'm not going to judge your 2025 price to my 2023. I'm judging your 2025 price to my average 6-year price.
Okay, Minister. So
that is what.
So, Mr. Minister, there were too many things that haunted the CDC administration, and some of them is what you're talking about, the issue of rice.
That's correct.
There were other challenges like the gasoline that led Liberians to standing in queue to purchase gasoline. All of these things are being pictured today by the rescued administration as issues that you could not handle. As you speak now, they are celebrating the price of rice, quote unquote, is around 2.3 or 2.6 or whatever.
I'm not denying that.
I come, Mr. Minister. Why do you think Liberians should not celebrate the Unity Party, especially
No, it's first 2 years when the price of rice and gasoline are all down at this point.
No, I'm saying the price of rice is lower than it was in the first 3 years. I mean, it's higher than it was in the first 3 years of CDC administration. So what are you celebrating?
They are just going to 2 years.
So listen, isn't that what we want to debate? When the time right now, as I speak, right now, still below CDC. So the state got work to do. If they don't bring price for the next 3 years, 4 years, and stay there, CDC will win the price debate. If they brought price below CDC average, CDC loses the debate. But it's a fact.
In CDC first 2 or 3 years. That's what you're comparing.
Okay. In fact, there's no debate in CDC first 2 years. CDC kept price $13 in 3 years. In the 2 years, in 2 years, the price way higher than 13. I'm not even talking about the $13 price. I'm talking about the average price. The price still higher than the average 6-year price.
Okay, Minister. So we're about to transition to the next conversation.
Yeah. Lastly, you are attributing the decision of your government to have increased the price of rice to the Ukraine and Russia crisis,
That's
right?
right, yes.
But the guys could also argue that rockets are still being fired, yet they're still bringing the prices down. Why couldn't you find means to have done it? At the latter time of
over
your
time,
administration?
situation stabilized. Over time, freight costs could go down. Over time, we're dealing with an emergency and exigency.
Okay.
So on the spur of the moment, right there, the next 6 months, the next 1 year, you can work them within 3 years now. So things can stabilize. People can find new alternative routes to supply oil. So that the dynamic change.
Let's leave rice and gasoline.
Kind of just 1 minute before we go there and on this segment, right? There were a lot of public policy statements that you made that the political opposition ran after you for that I need you to provide some clarity on. When you stated that Liberia supply current to Ivory Coast, the ordinary people need to know, what did you mean by that, right? That's one point. And then the next point is on the issue of the harmonization. There are a lot of misconception and misunderstanding around it. What was the clear intent of the harmonization?
Look, let's clear the issue, the electricity supply issue. Again, this is why I'm here.
Okay.
Even today, if you ask the Minister of Information, and I will ask your journalist, you're asking him that question when he goes to the next review. I mean, the next Thursday event. Is it true that under George Weah, CDC did supply electricity to you? So you're asking that question, and you're hearing a response. As factual as it is, confirmed by LEC, by Transco in Ivory Coast, by all of the experts, we have done fact check. There's fact check on it. Fact checkers have gone and say,
what was the rationale? The question is
no. This question is not the rationale. The question is first the fact. Rationale is not too important here. What is important? It is an established fact. Let the public accept that CDC supply electricity, that Liberia supply electricity to Ivory Coast.
No, Minister, but the point is, why we are needing
the fact is different from the reason. Is it true that you ate rice today? Yes. Why did you eat rice? I was hungry. So why don't confuse the two things? Okay, so let me agree first. Let me agree first here that it is factual. Confirm to the Liberian people.
Fact checker, you say have confirmed.
No. You should be saying I have read the fact checkers and you are correct. Your job is a journalist to be between sides.
Minister, in the rationale. So why did we?
Before we come, there's a confusion there. Let accept first. You don't seem to accept that.
You don't put something down my throat.
No, but let me understand.
So I'm telling you where I want to focus to be. Understand that
you will not listen. Minister 12, people do not. There's some Liberian people do not believe. I can tell you, some Liberian people may not care. By the time you say it is factual that we supply it, most of the doubt of the Liberian people will be clear. The reason they're having a doubt is that they don't believe it happened. Once you confirm to them, yes, Liberia did supply, then they say, wow, for true. But then how it happened? Then their negativity or the intensity drops. So we got to deal with the fact for it. It did happen. It happened because Liberia at the time, the maximum current we can consume, they call it the peak demand.
Okay.
Like maybe 8 o'clock in the night, peak demand around that time, roughly they say it was only around 60 megawatt.
Okay.
63. Technical thing, but just say it was 60. If it's 60, then If you get 70, you get what? You get 10. The reason is that 10 you get, you get 60. People are consuming 60. 10 free.
And that's all.
Hold on. The 10 free, you're not able to sell it to household abroad because they are not connected.
Why didn't you connect them? That's what that's the point I was trying to raise. How you doing?
Well, let's see now the connection data. CDC met 49,000 Liberians connected.
Okay.
CDC left 280,000 Liberians connected. So do the math. Okay, 280,000 minus 49,000. We connected some 240,000 Liberians.
You mean after 12 years in power, the UP connected
49,000
Liberians to the power grid?
That's correct. CDC connected 289, 240. On their 489, on their 49,000, we added 240 thousand Liberians to connect it. So the debate about why you connected is that already. We connected 240,000 people. We could not have the capacity to connect 400,000 people. So even though you connected 240,000 people, that 240,000 plus the UP 249,000, so all the 280,000 people were taking 60. They 10 were free. The choice of the government is to say, let it 10 waste. Saying we're not able to get the other people here in town in the next month, or let's sell it to Ivory Coast. The UP people say we should destroy it, waste it.
So that means when we give it to them, they pay for it.
They pay for it. We brought our bill down. We brought our bill down. Isn't that smart? Okay. So 17, between 2020, 2023, the time we did it, and today, you know how many people have connected to the grid? So the peak demand is not 63 now. You know the peak demand? They say it's 115. So you not get that free 10 again. So that's just all. It's just all.
His name is Samuel.
So that's a fact.
Samuel B.
So let me ask you, but me, I let talk about should the government have allowed the 10 megawatt that I don't know the real number was put, but just for our example now, that 10 that were free, should we have destroyed it and getting more money for it, or should we get money to reduce our bill? That is the policy choice the people at LEC and the government had. The government took the choice to reduce the bill to LEC. It is the smartest thing any government can do. If the situation ever came under this government, under this united party government, where there is ever an excess supply, they will do the same thing CDC did. Okay. So you're asking Minister Pierre that question when you go to the meeting.
Detour is our guest here on the show. This is the Freedom Money Rise on Freedom 87.9. And of course, we are moving to the second segment of the conversation right here and looking deep into, of course, some of the most critical and specific actions and decisions that were taken while Honorable Tuah, the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. So to begin this round, we'll go to Oliver Kine.
Okay, so we're going to go back to you. You inherited a wage bill. You later on decided to have a reform in terms of the salaries of the Liberian people. You instituted this harmonization, of a thing. Yet still, your critics think you didn't do well for the country. You reduced the purchasing power of Liberians who were on the government payroll. You made most of them who used to buy excess in beer and different stuff. You reduced their pocket, and they punished your government for it. Today, you are the former finance minister. Will you have done what you did if the situation was to repeat itself?
I would do it. And no, I'm going to do it. The United Party is doing it. Forget about me now.
Okay.
Forget about me. According to them, they say you were bad. Why they can't reverse it? So what kind of explanation I'm going to give to the Liberian people? The people in Bukonjide, in Vanhu, in Matuken, where I'm coming from. You hear me now? These people campaign to you and say, let me tell you, it is not true that we lost election because of harmonization. That's not true.
Okay.
That's part of the propaganda effect because harmonization carried 15,000 Liberians to higher salary. Harmonization brought 7,000 Liberians to lower salary. So I will ask the Liberian people today, if 15,000 people get salary increase, they're not happy? They're there? If 7,000 people get salary decrease, of course, they're vexed.
But we saw nurses and teachers.
With the propaganda coming clear now.
And they were thinking you harmonize my salary.
That's what I'm here for. In the election time, you not listen to me because I'm the minister of finance, people and they're confused. Right now, nobody confused now. People have one set of information that we're giving them for the election. Now, 2 years on now, they're not sitting down. They're asking themselves the question, but why get an increase? Why they can't reverse the harmonization? So this is, it's like, let me tell you something. Let me give you an analogy. A guy was married to a girl, you know, he's doing the best for her. Mm-hmm. Then somebody, one other guy called from America and said, I want you to lead a man. I want you to lead that man. When you lead that man, I'll buy you a car. You will start traveling when you lead that man. The thing that you get, you will get it now. So leave a man. The guy look for him, or family people say, lead a man. The guy left the man. The dude came to the RIA. He didn't get a car to pick him up, like friend can pick him up. Bro, since morning, he get a car. He can't buy the car. Oh, the guy say, our friends are telling us, oh, at least I think when you do not maintain your back car, you travel. You get a car, what time you start traveling? You go low now, she's in a situation 2 years. She says, oh, well, the promises you made to me for when I left my husband, and I'm materializing. And the analogy that I gave to that man.
You think that's the situation?
That's a situation that applies here with harmonization. Harmonization, what is it? Okay. This is the, you know, I will say the God fair, honest truth that Unity Party, everybody in Unity Party know. Before CDC came to power, okay, from 2013, the wage, so we say when you take all the money we're spending on paying salary, and you take the whole budget we're getting, what is the percentage? That percentage moved from 2013, it was around 33%, 35, 33%, 2013, 2014, 33, then started going up to 40. In June 2017, okay, the wage bill, I said June 2017 because of the last fiscal budget year under the Unity Party. 17-18 budget year, that Unity Party CDC, so I always put it in yellow. 6 more were under Unity Party, 6 more were under CDC. So we share everything in 2017. But the real year, when you work on UP year, you got to end it at June 2017. The wage bill was 50%. 50%. That means
50% of what?
50% of the money we're collecting. So if we collect $100 in revenue, we use $50 for pay salary. That was the situation in June 2017.
Okay, correct.
Then we went to the election. So I'm coming to give you the number now for the wage bill by the end of 17-18. So from 50% to the end of 17-18, which is Unity Party and CDC year combined, the wage bill went to 58%. 58%.
That's in 2018.
No, 2017-18 end.
Okay.
Wage bill is what? You know, now we're having fiscal year 17-18 slash. We changed that in 2022. So before 2022, all the year that would be 16-17, 17-18. So the wage bill goes up by 8%.
Okay.
Okay. No, not 8%. No, actually it's 7%. It's 7%. It goes up by 7%. That 7%, I will tell you, since I had two government, I will give Unity Party 2%. They were leaving power, they continuing to hire people, you know, leaving government, you got people in government.
They added about 2%.
I will give them 2%. I don't know the real, but I'm a fair human being. The party that leaving power, if you reverse, I will give you 2%. The party that come in power, give them 5%. So net, CDC took the wage bill up by net 5%. They were reporting that time here, CDC added $200 million. I went to the legislature, senator asked, you increase the wage bill. So CDC versus UP took it at 52% from the time UP were in power, and CDC added 5 there. Then we started now with the process of bringing it down. If you look at the graph at that point, so everything the two parties, before CDC, things can be going up. Then when CDC comes, things can be going down. I will show you that pattern in the use of goods and services also. Yeah, I'll show you already on the price, the rice and gasoline price. So that the difference between the two parties, when CDC not there, things going up. By the time CDC come, things coming down. So the wage started coming down from 58 to 57 the next year.
Okay. And why did you leave it end of 2022?
I left it at 41%.
41%?
That's correct. So wage as a share of GDP was 41%.
You inherited it at 50%.
And I left it at 41.
Meaning there were decline in.
No, there were listen, there will always be increasing way, but it doesn't mean when the ratio coming down that you're not hiring. I will not be dishonest as a mathematician or economic tell you.
So then why was it coming down? The person.
No, so because we enter an IMF program. No, listen, harmonization. What coming to now? Harmonization move around $32 million from the wage bill. So that's one of the biggest effects of it coming down there.
Okay.
So that is stability that happening under the CDC and all the noise. The facts about harmonization are that before harmonization, there was no order to the government payroll. Recently, when I posted on Facebook, the former CSA boss, George Warner, responded and said, "Oh, it is not true that harmonization is the ultimate reform. There were reforms before harmonization." I agree with George. I'm not arguing that there were not reforms. USAID was supposed to reform. World Bank was supposed to reform. Everybody, IMF program were here. All that reform there, there were no here, no take. Because there were two salaries. One was basic allowance. One was general allowance. Basic allowance was taxed. So, for example, one of the benefits of harmonization is that people who are working for government will have a higher money when they retire. Because the government is now taxing the two salary, general allowance and basic salary. We put it together, we tax it. Before that time, only the basic salary. So it means we're depriving those Liberians. The senior student economics, LU and AMU and UMU, they should calculate. I put it out as an assignment for them. Let them calculate how much money in retirement government workers lost before harmonization. That's an assignment for them, public assignment. Let's calculate how much money they lost. So if they retire
before salaries were synchronized,
government was not taking the social security deduction, which is 4%. Harmonization took that 4%. So let's say they call the salary. Even though
no, I want you to explain that. You say harmonization took that 4%.
Yeah, because we put it together now.
Okay.
You get salary, basic salary, you're taxing it. General allowance, you're not taxing. So when you take the business salary, you take the social security number, a business salary, something like Liberian dollar, you tax it. You leave the other one. So when you put the two together, you tax it. Of course, you take more from the worker, but the worker will get more when they turn 60 or 65-year-old in retirement. So that's a good thing for the worker. So a typical nurse who saw wage number coming down by 4% say that the CDC cut the salary, even though when that nurse retire, she has already voted against CDC now. Maybe that share all that information, but the noise was too much in the market. They say you can study in the market. Too much noise. When the election coming, all that thing is noise. Even though she voted against CDC, thinking that we took 4% for her, she will still get it when she's 65-year-old, when she retire. They say, oh, then they'll tell her, say, well, you could have gotten more. If the people were taking it from 2012, 2013, you would have received maybe the $500 or the $600 more. Oh, but why didn't take it? Oh, I didn't understand. Oh, but the CDC did well. That realization that but the CDC did well.
Was investing in their future.
But CDC is always going to invest in the future. Our proper agenda is about. But it turns around, and you know the party people know what they want to do. They know all that one. They know you will not. Your SPI is it true that the people took 4% to give it back to Liberia and then you will continue it? So that all that thing that I led to the
Minister, CDC was beat on about your management of the wage bill, right? There were arguments that you bloated the wage bill, the processes of hiring. When this current CSA boss took over, he condemned the entire environment.
Right now, I'm doing the condemnation.
And that's what I want to
with facts. But what I'm talking
about.
I'm saying
the idea of reforming the wage bill, the way government hires.
So that's what I'm saying. The reform means that we put the basic salary and the general allowance as one salary. To undo it, you got to go back to two salaries. So that's why I say it's not possible to undo. So the people who telling the Liberian people they can do harmonization, the Liberian people tend to say they lie. Because you can't go back to basic salary and general allowance. You can't go back to not taking social security deduction for Liberian. It's not possible.
Good. They say how you were bringing people into government.
No, we don't let that one out. Then the judiciary will not paying taxes also.
On their salaries?
Yeah, judiciary not paying taxes before harmonization. All members of the judiciary now today are paying taxes. When you want to do harmonization, which is not possible,
maybe that's why most of them were your friends.
No, listen, in government president, we have said this, you know. I think it's President Bouaka who said, but I think was probably ascribing me to President Weah, that I'm governing not because of making people happy or making people vex. I'm governing not for the next 6 years. This quote is from President Bouaka. but this is the application of President Weah policy.
Okay.
I am not in power to make people happy for election. I'm in power to make people happy for a generation. For a generation, when that nurse retires, she will get higher income. We have made that choice in 2019, 2019 for her. We made a choice to bring 7,000 Liberians down to lower salary because, let me tell you the story why this thing started. The reform that won up, they went to Ministry of Gender, they went to Foreign Affairs, they went to Ministry of Finance, and they went to CSA. But those 4 entities, by the time they finished with them, the wage bill went way up. How many entities in government? Government got about 100 entities. You start with 4. You carry the wage bill way up, then you usually say, oh, we're not able to continue the deal, let's leave it. So they left it hanging for CDC. CDC clean now, 4 ministerial salary way up. Ministry of Agriculture Secretary making $200, Secretary of Ministry of Finance making $800. Not fair. But it's why, because you can't continue the reform, you start way here, and you can't extend it to the other 80, 90 entities. You will not have money. You need 500 million of the big government worker. So on that basis, the reform was halted. So the reform we're not talking about, and the USAID all complaining about was halted. When CDC came, like most things, we had to do the heavy lifting. We had to forget about election and think about a generation. The international community went to President Weah and said, Mr. President, first of all, our money finished. We get 2,400 healthcare workers that we pay for. We're not able to pay for it. We're not able to pay for them. So we want you to put it on the budget. President said, already are in power. The revenue is not performing right now. Things are tough. This is where my president said, he said, times are going to be tough when I leave power. She predicted. President Weah said, but the prediction I'm living now, all of you're paying 2,000 people. You can give me 1 year. Let me balance 1 year. Your farm money. Then the 18, 19 cycle, I'll put it and say, Mr. President, our money finished. The part 0. So the 2 choices you have, put the 2,400 workers in the street, let them go protest or let them go find a job on their own, or put it on your budget. You turn to me, Mr. Finance, you'll go put it on the budget. We put part of the increase that I gave to 5%.
Yeah, out of the 7%.
That 5%, that 2,400 mandatory health worker inside. So that one of the reasons why CDC carried the wage bill up.
Okay.
So when the Liberian people listen to me understanding all these things, and I can't blame them. They didn't have the time. There was too much confusion in the country, but now there's no confusion. So we brought those people up. Then doctors, when the doctors who even campaign, doctors used to make $700 before CDC got there. President Weah said, but how can doctors, they go to medical school? I go to medical school, but I know what medical school means. They put a foot in water and study on that. How can you pay doctors $700 and some secretary then making 1,000? What kind of country here? How can some people in the government making 1,500 and a medical doctor who treating making 700? Enough fair.
Okay.
I will carry the salary up. You'll go pay them 2,000. We carry them 2,000 up. Part of that increase, carry the wage bill also. He sent doctors away for the first time. Dr. Poto came to my office and said, I don't know if I'll see the president. I don't know if you're carrying there, but I want to tell you what you have done for this country. To send 23 doctors up is unimaginable. This is CDC's first year. You send those 23 or 27 out for training. We've been fighting for this for years. You have paid doctors 2,000 and they were making 700. Your government have a human heart. We got all that one.
Yet still, he had to take the nurses to sing the harmonization.
Because all the nurses, even the doctors I'm talking about, many of them still voted against CDC. So CDC has a bias. And CDC listens to me and the independent people listen to me out there. The central bias of CDC is that there are people in this country who believe that George Weah should not be president. When I came in 2005, a friend of mine who's also close to George Weah, he told me, Samuel Toye, you're not close to George Weah more than me. I can go to George Weah right now, ask him for $5,000. He would just go in here and give it to me. But Samuel Toye, my friend, if God said George Weah would turn Liberia into New York, I will make God to say, let Liberia remain West Point. I want George Weah to do it because you're not good for my children.
That friend told you.
My friend told me. And that is a central bias.
You think that's a bias?
It is the systemic bias against Weah that the change or the transformation process should not be happening under this man. You're not qualified to be the one driving it. So even if it brings heaven here, we should tear it down. That is the mantra of the unity.
Okay, Mr. Minister. So let's go back again, still on your record, right? Your critics say that you did not manage the public debt efficiently. The CDC, in terms of, you accrued more debt burden to the country than you inherited. How do you confront that?
But I probably recently again on the debt, because you see, I'll probably all the data out there because I know that
they don't use the debt issue as a whole campaign thing.
Yeah,
what other
yeah. So I published now the debt. See, I published that
just as you deal with the waste bill, I want you to reflect critically on the debt.
Yeah, say I did.
Did you put Liberia in more debt?
Say I published the counter. You know, here, the party respond to me. And the only thing they can be doing, they cost me. Say I broke the debt because our debt number, usual number, all been complaining.
Okay.
Did you hear? The way you do the debt number, Minister of Finance, they're not correct. The debt number, everything complaining me. I said, Minister, the debt, the government statistics can recognize CDC. I may not care about CDC UP. I may care about Liberia. They just see government, they don't see the party attached.
Okay.
So it will be interesting. So I finally took my time and I broke it down like that. How much international debt CDC received? International debt at the end of December, at the end of 2017, was around $612 million.
612.
International debt, yeah. I mean, I'll be off 1 or 2 million because these numbers I'm rattling off here. But these are in the mean spirit. 612. So they left 612 international debt.
End of 2017.
End of 2017. Then, now
domestic.
The way international debt works is that the debt is not recognized unless it is spent. So when I sign $50 million, it doesn't go to the debt.
Okay.
The signing can carry it. When the World Bank paid $10 million of that 50, then we add $10 million to the debt.
Okay.
So 618 have been spent, but there were things that the UP signed that had not been spent yet on UP. It will come 1 year or 2 years later. Theoretically, I believe it should be 2 years. But if I did so, the public will say, oh, you're cheating UP. So I made it 1 year. So for example, the debt that came in from 2017, 1 year on the CDC, I gave it to UP. The debt that coming in 2024, 2025, I gave it to CDC. I should have done 2 years for UP and 2 years for CDC, but I did 1 year, just to be fair. Okay, so it means all money that came in. So when you look at UP debt, it moved from 612 to 774 million international debt. I stopped it there. Then CDC on international debt, we started, it ended at 776. So when you add it to, the international debt is around 1.5 billion.
CDC
776. So somebody will say, but CDC, domestic debt, international debt, and that get it clear. International debt comes from the World Bank, the African Development Bank, all our bilateral creditors who giving the government money. When the money comes, it doesn't come to the government's consolidated account. Let's be clear. That money can go into consolidated. It's not the money that the Minister of Finance does. The Minister of Finance approves it. We have an approval process that is more indirect.
Okay.
But it doesn't come to consolidated where the government spending it. The international partners are the one financing these projects. So the Minister of Finance don't have that kind of control. Through the controller, you can see the movement, but the way he controls the consolidated account, it does not control the international debt account. So those are monies that CDC brought in a lot of money because of the goodwill and trust of the international community. How you are explaining. Over 12 years, UP, since the debt waiver, we got 600 there. CDC 6 years, we got 700. Why did that happen? Because the trust increased. At the beginning time of the CDC, with all the confusion of issue about governance, when we did harmonization, the international community was so excited. The IMF board, they say
so they're willing to lend you more money.
Oh yeah, of course. That's right. I'm not saying how do you move from.
So instead of looking at them negatively,
you have positive. Oh, but all the development that coming. When I say the financing for road is essentially done, secure. All that we're talking about road. We'll come to that. That is the thing I'm talking about. That part of the 760, there 774. There maybe you add another 100 million that came after in 2024. All that money coming that CDC signing. that to do the so international debt is a good thing for the country. And let me tell you, nobody must see international debt negatively. International debt has an interest rate of 0.5%.
Okay.
100. Somebody say I will give you $100 US, and want you to pay me back maybe $3 or $3 US. That had international debt looking. Oh, if I credit you you're making 1,000 because our interest rate low. That's how development funds. The other commercial thing there, 0.5%. It will be 3%. It will be 4%. It will be 2%. I plenty of money. We take 2% of 100 million. I pay money. Okay. So the World Bank, the African Development Bank, they're only financing at low, almost 0%. So it's 0.5%. So when the country get that kind of financing, it's good for the country. So nobody should see international debt as a bad thing for the country. The road in your war, so the people who talk international debt, they don't understand these things, and they're trying to confuse the Liberian people. They say the national debt increasing. Those two statements are stupid. If Liberian people are supposed to vote for road business, it means the debt to finance road got to go up. You're getting more international debt to finance road. We'll see. It might not be going down because we'll get more road, you get more concessional debt. There was a time, let me tell you, between the IMF and the World Bank, there was confusion. The IMF said the World Bank giving Liberia too much money, so you need to stop. We had to fight the IMF. I took the side of the World Bank. I said, you can do this. The president committed. The president said he wanted to do 829 kilometers of road. That's what he envisioned. Before President Weah took office, the whole road paved in the country from Joseph Jingi Router was 745 kilometers, which is 5.7% pavement, meaning we got 13,000 roads in the country, 13,000 kilometers of roads in the country. Across the whole Liberia. All our road network, when you connect it, at 13,000. We have paved only 5.7%. St. Joseph Jingi Router. Between 2018 to June 2023, John Weah carried that percent up by 3%.
You mean even Erling with all her international contact left us with
5.7?
Okay.
Then we are carried added 3 by June. So our pavement now is what? 8.7, yeah. 5.7 plus 3, like 8.7. But in June, we had around 60 to 63 kilometers of road still to be ending by December. Okay. So when you add that one there, the real CDC total is 3.4%. We add to the 5.7% as a percentage. But not all. The president said he wanted to do 829. He ended up doing 454. So they still left about 375 kilometers. The financing arrangement I'm talking about, all the one that working standard road, but the money that's secure for that, 375. I do the real math here, so I want the fact checkers to hold me on that. We stay, but I would say about 200 million of that 375, the financing secure. So it happened under President Bouakai. That's why I say,
was that what you meant when
that's
you said
that's a meaning there on the road?
CDC secure. That, for example, the rubber Monrovia to
rubber existing already. I mean, the debate when people were the thing will be clear to everybody. It's clear to Liberian people.
So that's what you
I'm explaining now that 375 the president. If the president had continued his election, I mean his governance, he will be completing at 375. So that 375 that President Bouakai will be completing. Around 200 million that already found money from President Weah. The other 175 President Bouakai. I will credit the Unity Party if they found money for the 175, not for the 200. The 200, I will give it to President Weah. So realistically,
lastly, and then we move to the next round.
I would just want us to be more practical about the actual road statistics. Yeah. You keep talking about 200-300. I want us to discuss it, in corridors. Mm-hmm. You started the Ganta Saklepi route.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
There was another phase of that project from Saklepi to Tapeta.
Yeah, all I want to
you provided the money.
Yeah. No, the financing is secure. I'm telling you that 200 million that we get to money coming in.
Okay.
All that whole strength from Ganta from Saclay-Pierre to Swedru.
So what about the rubber sport, corridor, the Medina, to rubber sport?
Yeah, we started work on that.
Mhm.
We started work on that with a contractor. We provided some resources there. We started work. The government will continue, but we started that work. It's clear. The people in Grand Cayman know that we started.
President Weah was out of the country the last time when the then Justice Minister went to the Freeport to break ground for the bridge-to-bridge project. Did you find money for that project?
Yes,
as well?
Japanese will do well, and then we found money. We gave Uboti was a consultant who's now being subjected to the same whole thing. He started work on that. Government made money available.
Okay.
On that corridor,
Mhm.
and where it stopped, the government will take it from there. So this will work.
1 minute, where it stopped? Did your financing stop there?
Yeah, we provided that money was provided by the government. We provided some resources to the contractor to do the work.
From the resources,
From Gabriel Tucker to
From Freeport to
from Freeport to, let's say, Logan Town.
yes, somewhere there.
I
I think
that's where your financing stopped.
yeah, I think
So anything beyond that be attributed to the
Of course,
news.
listen, let me tell you one of the reasons I'm here today.
Mhm.
This country did not move Weah from power because he was not doing road.
Okay.
Okay, I just told you that. The road financing, we got 200 million in that we already secured, all that thing. The elections in this country will not be about President Weah didn't do road. President Weah did significant amount of road. He moved our road percentage up. President Bouaka will continue that road.
Mhm.
So you can't go to the people and say, okay, but President Weah built 455-kilometer road. Okay, but then we came to and build 220-kilometer road. So how the election going to be now?
It is a debate about legacy now.
Okay, so no. The question is,
Mhm.
we have built 454-kilometer road,
Mhm.
96 community road, 386 primary road. He paved it. I'm not guessing that pavement data is done. Bouaka says here, let's say he does 300-kilometer road. Okay, 2029 road construction. George, we are 454. Joseph Bouaka 400. Who did I bring for? That debate end.
they would decide.
Okay, they will decide. So that's not a central question in the country.
Mhm.
I said on the other show I went there, this country has solved essentially the road question, meaning we have institutionalized a road fund. That means, well, George Weah president, Joseph Bouaka president, Joe Blow president, Monkey president, money for road development will come through that institutionalism. Credit to Madam Salif.
actualization is what people are
Credit to
concerned
Madam
about.
Salif and the UP for stating this is the difference between me and them.
Okay.
The UP institutionalized the road fund. So I gave them credit. But it was not functional when we came. We made it functional. We shared the credit for that institutionalism at 50-50. So now that we've stood that thing up, road development, whether you put Kyle in the office of the presidency, will continue because, number one, the politicians in the country know the link now between road and their vote.
Okay.
So we have solved that problem. So it wouldn't matter of time for all the roads to finish.
Sir, Minister.
Simple electricity, come back there. We put 240,000 people to connect it.
We'll get to the elections in the other era.
Still on roads.
Yeah.
You and President Weah, the both of you are from the Southeast, and one of the campaigns against the CDC in the Southeast today is the fact that they are saying you didn't do well for the Southeastern corridor. So since you're on the radio today, can you, in simple terms, forget all the 300, 400, or the numbers thing, in simple terms, tell us to what extent did you lobby, implement any other, stretch on that particular corridor?
The corridor from Stapeta, the pavement and the country coming see from Saclay-Pierre to Swedru, the CDC. Forget about, I mean, Kota.
They are
When they're riding on the
100%? 100%?
Yeah. That one saying that when the financing we secure under my signature.
Okay.
When they're riding on Kota
from Saclay-Pierre to
Swedru.
Okay.
The CDC.
They are listening.
They're listening. So nobody will take credit for that one. To even try to take credit for that one, because they're on the Lofa Road. President said he signed the Lofa Road contract.
Okay.
Before John Weah came to power. I remember he went and broke ground there. And President said he signed that contract. When he signed it, I gave a credit to UP under the President said for signing the Lofa Road contract. But the rolling continued because there were counterpart delay. They didn't pay the money that needed to start it.
So you started it.
President Weah started it. He paid the money. Who's sharing it?
So is it safe to say you cannot take all of the credit for
I
the
can't take
Lofa
credit. Oh, by just telling you, I can't take credit.
Okay.
You should
Recently,
share with Mrs.
I shared with President. We have shared that with President. I want to continue to me. President Weah shared that credit with
President Salif.
to President Salif.
Okay.
So she
I
said,
want you to
no. Let's stay on
some Eastern Corridor first.
So that from Ganga to Konya, President Weah and President Salif get our glory. Then there was a 25 million that we negotiated with the Kuwaitis, but with the Arab fund there was technical issues. We did not release that 25 million.
Mhm.
President Bouaka also he funded. So we are in Bouaka continue that glory. Yeah, that's the same thing there.
Mhm.
But the highway be all on the road. So nobody should come here and say the UP not getting credit for road, CDC not getting, but that's why I'm telling you, road debate not going to be a reason why people will vote for anybody here, because
Okay, Minister
CDC has demonstrated amply that it significantly impacted the road debate. Unity Party is now I can't give you a number. We have paid 454 kilometers. Unity Party got to pay at least 454 kilometers in the 6 years for all to start talking. So the real debate for Liberian will be 454 versus 451. So let's see. If Unity Party paved 500 kilometers, they would have beat CDC in pavement.
Thank you very much.
But say the difference of 50 kilometers is not substantial. But somebody will say, but then so they will say, listen, you know what? I think the country is doing well on road building.
So you
all right, Minister. I
While
want
we
to
leaving the topic,
Mm.
the issue that we're not talking about, that which the people not getting job, and the central question we focus on is where I want the political debate to focus on.
And that way we're going to go right
We
after
can't continue to
here.
put a political debate on road. We have solved the road problem. Electricity, we have solved the problem. UP restore the hydro.
Minister, one minute. We're going to go to these things. You can reserve your
If
question
we
for
don't
the
connect
next
them, we
one.
want to roll. Let's get the same picture as the
Again,
electricity.
folks, if you're just joining,
Then
this
we'll
is Honorable Samuel D. Tuer, former Finance and Development Planning Minister during the leadership of the CDC in Liberia. And of course, he's here this morning looking back and, of course, talking tough on all of the issues. So now we are about to transition, but just before we do that, let's take a break with our sponsor, Crime Stopper Liberia, and take a little breather. When we come back, we go into other issues right here on the big station, Freedom 87.9. This break.
It's my music. There are crimes in many places, in every community, you know. You can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for the right authority. That they can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us. Bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor. If you see a you must talk it. I mean you check. Do well for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must find to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Okay, Crime Stopper Liberia, folks, welcome back to the final lap of the conversation right here on Freedom 87.9. Many thanks to all of our friends across the country that's carrying this program live on about 27 community radio, and of course, thanks to the Closing Argument Hope TV Terra TV, Pupa TV, Truth Lens TV, Women TV, and as well as Spark TV. They're all here joining, and of course, carrying the program live. Kain Oliver Kain, Hagar Gonda, and myself, we're here with the former Minister of Finance and Development Planning, Honorable Samuel D. Tuer. So now we had to take that breather with Crime Stopper Liberia. So to begin, Kain, let's start with your final question on rules, and then we go to the issues about job creation, youth empowerment, education, health, and what have you.
Okay, I mean, except that he already talked about the southeastern corridor, between Sakapia to Zwedru, beyond Zwedru, up to Fishtown in River G, because President Salif left the road at Fishtown, the capital of River G. So the corridor between Fishtown and Zwedru, did your government secure any?
We secure financing. We secure financing. I think there is a small gap. My people, that's from Fishtown to Zwedru.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there is a 20-kilometer gap
between Fishtown to Kelipo Kawakin.
Yeah, I don't know. I think after Kelipo to Zwedru.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I believe we're in negotiation with African Development Bank to include all of that into our financing. The current government, we have to close that small gap. We get them credit for that.
So we're talking about the ones you closed.
That's what I'm saying. So from Fishtown to Kalipo,
Mm-hmm.
all that thing, we signed and we secure that one.
Okay.
But the other one,
So technically between Kelipo, Kawakin to Zwedru is where you do.
And I will check on them. I don't believe my Rufo Dakoti, my Deputy Minister Flomo, I said we're still going back. But that's a gray area there. If we secure it, I don't believe so. You will get it ready.
So for the record, Abu, before we leave, because there's a very technical issue. He's from the southeast. The president's from there. The deputy speaker by then was also from there. Speaker Chambers was also from there.
Yes, Kain from there.
Forget that conversation. So the point is, your government, the CDC administration, look for the money.
That's correct.
They fund the money.
Yeah.
They secure the money in the book people term from Sakapie to Tapeta to Zwedru.
That's correct.
Then you could now find the money, or better say, you didn't complete finding the money between Zwedru to Kelipo Kawakin.
To the best of my knowledge, now I can't make that statement here.
Okay.
On a factual basis.
Mm-hmm.
We found some of it.
Okay.
There is a gap.
Okay.
With Rufo, I had a long conversation about concluding on this gap. So I don't think before we.
So the portion that is unclear, that you are yet to settle, until you can, revert to your document, is between Zwedru to Kelipo Kawakin. But between Kelipo Kawakin to Palipo Fishtown, you already got it.
We got it.
So from Fishtown to Kelipo Kawakin, CDC got the money.
That's correct.
And whatever project you'll be seeing on that road was financed by the CDC. That's what you're saying.
That's correct.
Now, from Sakapie in Nimba to Zwedru in Granji there, you also fund the money.
That's correct.
And so if the people see quota there, it means your government provided the money.
That's correct.
Okay. So last
No, before we go, we were on. I like the fact that we do macro, we do road, we do power. Sometimes we interchange it. There's an important thing, even though I talk about harmonization being the government not able to reverse it. Coming back to the harmonization, the wage bill. The goal of harmonization was if people were too high, we brought them down, we took money from them and brought the other Liberians up. So the rising tide should make what? Every boat. The rising tide took some people too high, it left some people down. We stabilized. We didn't bring those people all the way down, and we're not able to carry these people like immigration workers are making $50 a year.
Okay.
We carry them to 150. So they got increases. Those people voted, they were happy to getting more money. So that notion that they voted against that propaganda, they're not true. They carry the money. We saw the appreciation. They went there. The money went up. Now the goal over the long term is harmonization was not about salary cut or not about salary increase. So when somebody say we reverse harmonization because we carry the post salary, or no, we carry a lot of salary up after harmonization because during harmonization, 15,000 went up. So going up in harmonization, that is the same thing. Going up in harmonization is same thing. So you can't reverse it by carrying salary up. No. You will have to continue to carry salary up. Teachers at the University of Liberia, many of whom did not eat this Christmas because the government didn't pay them. Those teachers' salary will carry up by 62%.
Okay.
The university. The university, because of Georgia, is among the highest paid in the region.
I mean, you took their pay.
We took their pay at 62%. Today, the money they're getting They say thank you. Even though plenty of them can take vote against CDC because of the bias that I'm talking about. Joey, I can tell him to heaven, but he's not supposed to be there to do it. Somebody else is supposed to do it. So the bias we get with all the educated people in the country. But we carry the salary up. So when somebody say we reverse harmonization by carrying people up, no, salary increase was part of harmonization. The only reason you carry salary up is because you have the ability to do it and you get more revenue. But here's the point. The country going to 1.2 billion now. Salary is now 354 million. We left it at around 300, with give and take all the salary computation, I would say we left it around 310, 311. You know the party guy, because you know the party is now hiding money under something called other compensation. I'm asking the national legislature.
They're hiding money.
Yeah. So national legislature, the IMF, everybody should take note. Let compensation now have other compensation. Let's scrap it. When the budget is printed, other compensation will be zero. We will move it. In fact, let's move it from the line. There should be no code call. I think the code is some 111, 123. It should not be there.
What are you suspecting?
Because it is now 26 million. Other compensation, highest on the CDC was 5 million. That line from 2017 used to be 500,000. I think the technical process is to pay some other compensation related thing. The CDC, the UP is not taking it to be a major place of hiring people, but not subjecting them to the transparency.
So you have 5 million there?
Yeah, in 2023, that's only 5 million.
So who are those receiving that extra order compensation?
Yeah, they say that some. So I'm adding that 5 million to my compensation. While I get a number 311, and me I added all the money that was there under that line.
That 5 million.
We are doing the same thing for the Unity Party. They are standing at 354 million.
So before we go to the UP on the 26,
yeah, the government. Yeah.
So I mean, you have 5 million there.
That's correct. Yeah.
Order compensation. Did they tell you?
No, the way they say they were not paying people. Maybe they're using it for consulting, but it was small. For 4 years, they were like 1.2, 1.11. Then in 2023, they went to 5 million.
So you are alarmed by the astronomical increase?
Because from 5 to 26, next year they carry to 30. So in other words, let's even now. Let's cancel the line.
No, why don't you ask them to bring it down instead of
canceling? No. No. Listen, when you say let's cancel the line, and the reason why they may not want let's move it to compensation. So there's nothing called other compensation, because other compensation is being abused now. So let the full transparency, and let me talk about transparency.
So they would think you're being unfair to them because you have your own at 5 million.
I'm saying that So I'm exposing now because it's going up by 26 million. Right now the budget is passed at 29 million. Other compensation get 26. So is it fair to bring people for them to see the compensation at 29? 29?
So meaning the argument will be uniform. Let's have it on.
So it's the same thing. The same thing with wage harmonization. Abolish all. You know the party let us do this chakla thing all year. Bring all together. Let's get the other compensation out of the way. If you say other compensation is transparent, we got anything to hide, the national legislation insists that when the next budget is printed, only you journalists, you ask the question, go to the court and say, we want to verify other compensation. What is there?
But this is like changing the rules in the middle of the game. One would say the best thing to ask for is to either tell them bring it back at 5 million, or
that's fine. Okay, in other words, the 26 million will not be paid because you're not in 329. That's another way to look at it.
Okay.
So instead of if we said 329, we don't. The 26 million legislature should say we take the 26 million other compensation here into the. But they will say they will say that people will pay. They will say pay the people to compensation. If you're paying people, we believe all the things happening there. So we're asking for transparency. We're also telling the Ministry of Finance that 2000, the fiscal data for year end 2025 is not completed. It's still got it at October. It's not fair for us who want to be analyzing this data. The number must be December 31. They have had the time to see all these numbers, and they're still reporting as at October 2025. So for comparative purposes, it's not fair.
So, Minister, please.
So let them update the budget book and include the end December. So we have 2 years of budget data, 2024. Right now, we only got 2024. When you go to 2025, say as at October 2025.
Okay, fair enough. So I want us to because of the sake of the public, let's go to the Robert Fihau.
Okay.
Let's talk about that. I mean, clarity on the financing. Where did he live it? What did he do there? And all of that.
So just general out down only 2 lane road we are in Liberia for 178 years. Only two lane road. But the other clarity the public no one to know about that one. The CDC did it, the full lane. Simple. Anything you see on our road, just like ERW LRA junction, ERW junction to Ralphie, full lane, a CDC backs. Declare a CDC. That whole framework, if we're going to continue that, you'll be molested on that lane. Yeah?
You need to unpack that so that for public clarity. If it says CDC.
Yes, I'm telling you.
The
public saw the road start on the CDC. There's no confusion in the public mind about that. 4-lane road is George Weah's legacy in Liberia. 4-lane RI road. St. Joseph Junior Road is George Weah's legacy. No debate. If you carry the electricity there, to post street light there, you can claim something, but we'll say.
So when you did the road, there was no electricity.
No, you have put the electricity there when you're doing the road. Even the minister.
No. I mean, but in the blueprint, in the whole.
Of course, when you do the road, the light will come. But even Pierre said it. You said it. He said the reason why the house died because no road is there yet. So it means road and light and road get connection. So you can put light there. So somebody say, why cities not put light there? Of course, we put in the road there. You gotta finish the road before you put light. But we empower to put it light. So you can put it like that. You get the credit for that one. I'm trying to give the public an appreciation of where to credit the CDC and how to credit the UP. So when they go and vote choosing between the two parties, I wanted to know that CDC did radical, fundamental, transformative things in this country. And what the United Party is trying to do is to sustain and believe among them that CDC wrecked the country, and so CDC should not come by the power when the opposite is true. Here I have shown in prices, we kept things low. National Reserve, we inherited 110 million. We left 221 million. Economic growth rate, we inherited, I think, 2.7 or 2.7 growth rate. We left 4.7 growth rate that for 2 years, the United Party cannot equal. The 2024 growth came down. So again, as I said, CDC economic growth is going up. United Party growth from 4.7 will come to 4. The IMF said growth this year may go to 5. Again, that made a projection. So we have to wait for 3 years to see whether they're able to pass by CDC growth. There's somebody arguing, say CDC destroyed the country. And they want, even though MCC looking at CDC governance and say, based on your governance improvement, we award you a second compact. But they won't celebrate the compact. They won't deny that CDC did the work. Because as I told you, when John Weah turned Liberia into New York, he's not supposed to be the one doing it. He should not be among the table, on the governance table. According to that, he go to Harvard. He argue on the Palava Hut. Yeah, he do all that thing. Tinta question. He play football. Football man will not change Liberia. And the debate here in the country.
Let's argue about education and, of course, the youth, the young people. Because the mass base of the CDC support is from the young people,
yes,
right? Unarguably. So the question now becomes, because many times we see people, why did young people behind George Weah? Why? So when you had the opportunity to govern the country, what did you do for the young people in the education sector?
Look, let me tell you, the most important sector in the country, I will tell you, the most significant job the president of Liberia has to do today is to fix education. If I'm grading what the president has to do, I already told you road, we face it. So you put monkey there, road going, but you put monkey there, education will not be fixed because we don't have the institutional mechanism to fix it. We have done substantial work at CDC on a lot of construction. So I'll give you what it is. So the reason I'm making this statement is education has a link with the skills Liberians have. Liberians are reading way before. If you take a 11th grade student from the world and plot and compare them with Liberian 11th grade student, we are lower. It means we are not learning. We are not competing with the rest of the world. When you see all that white thing, you know what we're doing in the country? The passing marks supposed to be 70, we're bringing it down to 50 to 40 so people can graduate. That's what happened in Liberia. We are compromising the children's future. I've seen reports on university grades. Sometimes the people bring it for me to correct it. When I correct it and get a grade, we cut it by half. You say, my man, I'm not that grade, nobody will pass. I say, yeah, but you see, this is how we're shortchanging the country. So this thing that President Bouakai major job now. President Weah set the base. President Weah constructed 48 early childhood education schools. 48. He constructed 28 schools. He put about 28 of those schools. He put them in school districts where there were no high school.
And these 28, they are high schools?
They're high schools. About 25 of those are in area where they never saw high school St. Joseph Jingi Rawata. That legacy is George Weah's legacy. So in addition to free WAS, to free tuition, he was availing the physical infrastructure, 25. Then the 18 elementary early childhood schools he built. Not only that, he retrofitted under Minister Sonny those schools where I think 1 million books stored in. So physics, chemistry, I think what we're doing in school was struggling for a rare book here, that old rare book using 1 million books are available to Liberian students. George Weah legacy. Textbooks, biology, physics, chemistry, mathematics. So a good segment of infrastructure is there in the living room. I like the infrastructure. But what I'm more worried about is what goes on in the buildings. How we get teachers to teach math. The average teacher, they say, can pass the exam he's teaching. And the people, when she was telling one, no, they say, I don't know how many, 80% of the teachers are not passing the exams in the school, all the schools. That's a problem. So we need to fix teacher quality. We need to, along with fixing teacher quality, the right compensation, the right management framework for teachers, the monitoring. My suggestion to the country, and I've written on that. I gave a speech to a school. I said, the teachers that are teaching school should not be responsible for the grade because there is significant bribery in Liberian education right now. It is because the teacher who teaching is responsible for grading. So parents are going to the teachers to give money so the children can pass. It means the children are learning anything. If we brought a system where the teacher just go on class and teach, he know how the grade arrive, we change Liberian education overnight. I challenge President Bouaka to do that. To make sure when Samuel Tuah is teaching, I will teach algebra, I will teach economics, I will do all the teaching. I'm giving a curriculum to follow, but I will not draw grade. Maybe you give me 10%, give me 10% of the grade for quizzes to keep the train warm. 80% of the grade, I will not know how it's coming.
So that's an argument of fairness and transparency.
No, right? that's an argument about quality, meaning because if people know how to get their grade, they will not study. I can bet you if you told the teachers that
the argument about quality, Minister, is in the lecturers, right? Across the country, especially at the high schools level, in public schools, most of the instructors there do not have the bare minimum requirement, qualify the bare minimum requirement. So our job as a country is how do we attract successive government? How do we attract the quality from Monrovia to the interior?
And the whole program, I'm saying, President Bouaka, because President Weah did the info. I'm saying on access to the RIS project of the World Bank, through the Global Partnership for Education grants, we address questions of Honor Minister Dean Asusoni. We address questions and his folks, casually all the boys, Lamine Daton, they did excellent work on the President Weah administration. It's an A-team administrative education there. They did that work. The university don't want you to recognize that quality that were at the ministry.
Okay, you're saying you guys were mostly focused on infrastructure.
We did infrastructure. We did the free tuition that brought 10,000 more students to the pool, the higher education pool. So on the CDC 6 years, 60,000 Liberian students were having access to higher education that were deprived before free education. Somebody say you can cancel that. I bet you they never cancel that. Go celebrate CDC for that. So we did a lot of these access things. The challenge, when I say we solve road, the way we need to solve education is to address quality. But you see, quality issue are not something you can flag easily and go. You can flag, you can go break ground for quality. Student reading will happen over a generation.
Okay.
So the problem we have in the country is that those things that people can see physically, access to credit, the fact that people can get money from bank, there's nowhere for the president to claim it. So those things that are sub-radar, that people can attach, are not paying attention, even though they are the things that will change the country. I want the country politics to focus on the invisible tangibles, quote unquote. They are not tangible, they are tangible, but they are invisible.
Minister, another important area is healthcare. Recently, a lot of our pregnant women, in fact, there was a terrible situation with the hospital in
Redemption
Hospital, where a pregnant woman delivered outside. That was so despicable, so to speak. And these things are happening primarily because parents are saying the costs in the hospitals are high and all of that. So what can you say as a government then
in healthcare? The same story continues. We deliver a lot of infrastructure. You know that. In 2 years, Military 14. Today, Military 14, one of the rated hospitals. When I go do my diabetes thing, I can go. I trust Military 14 hospital. We got some partners from America who can establish it. You know, I mean, I don't know how we did it. We paid them all I want. It's sort of noise around it, but they did a wonderful job. I've seen videos of the work that is happening at the Military 14 hospital. We should be proud of it. The Army people are today celebrating that they have their hospital. So that healthcare infrastructure, that access between between Ralphie and the whole town, no hospital there. The whole town moving that way. So we had a vision and say they flag dating and just giving speeches. Me, I'm a physical infrastructure man. People there. So physical access. There are 8 hospitals being constructed in the southeast of the country. All the hospitals happening under the CDC. Access is guaranteed. So in other words, people have access. But the question is the quality of care. Again, if CDC had won the election, our focus is not going to be on access. Our focus is not going to be on macro stability. We solve those institutional questions. Our focus was going to be on the things that people can see. What quality of care people are getting. People can see it. The voter can see it. There's nowhere to go and say, hey, the quality of care is good. I will vote for CDC. No. It's happening daily in people's lives. It's a very difficult data to track. Politicians don't want to pay attention to that quality of care, that quality of education, and that quality of private credit. People can get a loan. You go to the bank, when they give you $10,000 loan, as soon you step outside, you gotta start paying $500 back the next day. You set up the shop here, how you manage. So all that de-risking mechanism is what the Minister of Finance, what the government is supposed to lead. We led on that with the judicial conference, but that was a first start. Second term, we're going to focus and deep dive on these big questions. So access to healthcare, Military 14 hospital, the 8th hospital in the southeast, the Bapulu hospital, the Redemption. Redemption is again continuity. UP started the hospital, we went into problem. We took it to a new level under the World Bank. Baka will finish it again.
Doctors in training for special labs.
We sent 20. I think we sent 23 of them. And I told you, Puto's remark to me that I will not see the president, but extend my credit to him. He has done well for the country. Just knowing that the doctors in the country know that, even though the doctors will know that voting against CDC. But that's fine. No, we are not doing policy to be liked. He's doing policy that will be graded by a generation. That's what's happening now. As we move away from the election cycle, as we move away, we recede into time, as time lapses, people then begin to say, oh, but the historical judgment, it's the historical judgment. But Joshua was a high quality president. Because at that time now, 25 million la mop up, 16 billion la, fake auditor death, all those stupid ass then like people, they're gone now. People start looking at the real question. What is the impact of free education in Liberia? What is it doing for Liberia's transformation? What is the impact of the access that he unveiled? After him, how was quality addressed? So he built for the 8 schools. What the quality that he did for the 8 schools? The textbook that he gave 1 million. The student reading it? What do we do to get students to read? What do we do to get parents to follow their students? Because let me tell you something. The path for Liberia's transformation has to be in human capital development. I'm not lying to you. Every day, in Microsoft are opening a technical center here. I will tell you, they'll bring the people from Rwanda, from Ghana. And the reason why Microsoft will not want to put it here, they will say the train Liberia can do math. The computer literate skills is too low. That people will need to work. So when we give exams, when people make 70, they should pass. When they make 55, 60, we say they fail to go study again. If you did that here, the Liberian student will study and they will pass. We are lowering the standard in the country, and so we are compromising the future. President Bwaka is challenged to raise the standard, having given the foundation President Weah, which he was going to do in his second term. But Bwaka now, the government is continuity. The president has a challenge to help the country move to the next level.
Let's talk about technical vocational education. How well did
we did it? The whole, I mean, a lot of projects funded from government of France, projects with the EU. A lot of technical TV. But again, the bottom down, there's a lot of TV infrastructure. What I don't see happening is how these TVET things are actually leading to jobs. For example, LOIC. You know how many people LOIC putting out? But are those people getting jobs? I was in Matadi living with my mom. New Matadi when LOIC, we used to go to LOIC. Yeah, I remember when after the war, people were looking at me. I can go. They think I can look at books. I went to LOIC. I remember I took a book there. We were looking, we saw the thing. I just saw the book there. I said, oh, I mean, maybe I learn how to my area there books. So I saw we live with LOIC vicinity. We saw the impact. The question is, we asked the question today, LOIC, MVTC, can we certifiably say how they are changing the livelihood trajectory of Liberian youth? It's not clear. It is those things that are missing. We're just doing them, but we're not bringing wholesome value to them. President Bouaka has to take TVET, because in TVET, everybody not going to LU, everybody not going to UMU. These children are able to learn, acquire skills that will improve. Everybody can go write pimping. Some of the children who pimping, they can build a livelihood when they become masons. They become technical people. They can face what they call it, air conditioning. But how you in Germany, America, most of the jobs are not college jobs. They are these technical, semi-skilled jobs.
Because we see more Ghanaians and Ghanaians coming to build our houses.
So our houses, Ghanaians coming to build. They're gonna say when I bring pay, they work and be crooked. You can okay, but the issue that but it's still got to the standard because the Liberian cut corner, we're cutting corner all our education, whether at TV, whether at middle school, whether at college. So the standard will be lower. Let's set up a standards board. Whether the higher education standard board where we regulate quality and make sure that when students go to write exam, that their brain they're using, they have studied the night, and they're not making it, they're not going, they're not graduating. You stand that standard, you change Liberia overnight. I can tell you.
Okay, we're going to go to the last segment, and I think that's where we should be heading. The CDC, your political party, is in a very tough position. Mm-hmm. The folks in power say, "Joe, we ain't coming back." Let me use their phrase. Are you guys coming back?
Anybody will arrogate unto themselves the power that is reserved only for the plurality or the majority of the Liberian people is a foolhardy individual. So if anybody look at anybody and say, you're not coming back, mm-hmm. you're trying to impose on yourself something that is given to 50% plus one Liberian, which are millions of Liberians. It means it's an idiotic story.
What are you doing to counter that?
Oh, here today, I think I've substantially countered the misunderstanding, the misperception, the propaganda that Liberians have had over the years about the CDC. And this is not going to be a one-day exercise. I've said it. Our coming back, listen, I just explained at the beginning that parties will lose election. Mm-hmm. Republicans lost 18 times. Democrats lost 24 times. Okay. So, for example, somebody here say the Democrat will never come back. That statement can be made. Not a logical statement. Because even you can do within 4 road, you can do 600 kilometer road. That doesn't mean that Brentwood should keep you there because you just did 100 kilometers more than CDC. No. CDC, they could say, you know what? Say you did I want CDC to come so they can pass your ratio by another 500.
Maybe the reason they're passing the verdict on you is because they're not seeing you as a political institution making strides to return. When you been lost in 2017, in less than 2 years they went to Margibi and they did their convention. You are yet to go to any retreat. You are yet to go to any social movement.
And to follow up on that, Minister, there are people who believe that for the CDC to come back, you have to deconstruct to reconstruct.
Oh, listen. Do you not see this government quivering already? You know why the government is quivering? You think the government quivering will come from lies? The government has hoisted itself and it will come by its own petard, that Shakespeare language.
Okay.
You hang yourself. Mm-hmm. The government has used lies to get to a standard. The Liberian people are holding them by that standard. For example, on harmonization. If they're not able to reverse harmonization, they will have to come to the Liberian people and say, we lied to you to get power. And so that is going to bring it down. Because that a lot of got in there.
Bringing it down doesn't in any way guarantee that you are going to be the one to replace them.
Well, no. If the people understand that the policies that the UP cannot reverse are desirable policies that are helping and impacting, of course, it's a threat. You think why they put insulting administrative information? Nobody insults anybody. Let me tell you something. If I'm not afraid of you, if you're not my competition, I will never call your name. I will never respond to you. You can respond to people who are irrelevant to you. The people you call, the person you call, the person you can't sleep for, that person tormenting you. You go into a room and you see your enemy and you're scared of him.
Maybe they're afraid of you for nothing.
Oh, no, you can't be afraid of somebody for nothing. So they are afraid. In this exercise here is intimidating to the government because this is an exercise of factual presentation to the country. This is not propaganda. They are afraid of this because hundreds of thousands of Liberians listening in community radios all over the country. They're understanding
your mission to return to power. What is it for? To pick bone with the UP?
No. Listen,
you know,
listen,
to get even at them for keeping you in court.
It's perplexing that we who are the losers, we are not angry, but the winners are angry, and the winners by a slim majority. 17 to 20,000 people are angry. For what? You know why the anger is? It's because we've defrauded to get the power. And since we defrauded to get the power, we're not there. We ain't believe we can hold it. We gotta be scared. We gotta be worried because when the truth comes, we are done. It's like a guy who believes he's not supposed to be in love with a girl because of his social status. Maybe he's not the most handsome guy, but he got the most beautiful girl in the room. And he go to the party and he see other people there. They won't care again. And he said, I'm sure I'm supposed to be in the gathering, but
okay.
That's an issue. So he friend, don't talk to that man.
Okay.
Don't talk to that man. No, come to me. Now, why the Unity Party doing that? They are fidgeting because the monstrosity of the lies is now being exposed to the Liberian people, and we are coming with full force. The political aspect about a CDC organization is not the central question.
Okay.
It's not the central question of focus here. The central question of focus is to defend the legacy of what George Weah did. What Unity Party was successful in doing is to present George Weah as somebody who was quote-unquote clueless, who did not achieve much, who was all kinds of stuff. The evidence today show that George Weah was a remarkable, outstanding president. Okay, I have shown the numbers here. So once that impression gets there, the most 70% of the work would have been done.
Okay.
The 30% of the work about having convention, bringing political parties together. When political parties come together, they have to come with the messaging. They can't come back. George Weah coming back is that, Mr. President, the narrative is that when I took power, the world was falling. The aid was leaving the country. Everybody was turning away. The World Bank, the IMF, nobody wanted to do anything with Liberia. Everything went because you're on your own health worker. I met crisis, I inherited crisis. Rice spread was 16, I brought it down to 13. All that stuff, harmonization, which were broken, I fixed all that thing. I carried doctor pay of all that work. I stabilized the country. I moved governance to another level. There were challenges here and there. I made some mistakes, but all that stuff, people use it to lie on me that I paid 48 billion when my total number of billion is 14 or 14 something. People think that 48 buildings, John Weah had. John Weah, I think at 14. My girl was just telling me he checked it the other day. And maybe we didn't do a good job of going out there and say that. So we did not all that stuff. So in other words, the people understand that now. So the narrative is that, Mr. President, we misjudge your governance because of propaganda. So, Mr. President, you're coming back now, and you're coming back, Mr. President. Mr. President is coming back not to do the things that he did in the first term, because we have solved the institutional thing. I said it. He road, he built 454-kilometer road. He's not coming back to just continue building road. No. When you build road, there must be jobs that the road is generating.
Okay.
When you do commercial connection, there must be jobs. Firms must locate here because you are bringing job. We have brought tariff down from 35 to 23. The low tariff is used today. Happy on the job we are. Like another one there again. The tariff was 35 cents per kilowatt hour. Today is around 22 cents per kilowatt hour. Who brought it down? That George Weah.
So lastly from my end, before we go to the line.
So that's a narrative. Listen, that's the political narrative that the president is going to run on.
So
on his record.
Lastly from my end, before we go to Abu, this whole issue of CDC coming back, is it going to be, settling schools? Because I remember when UP took over in 2024, 800 plus Liberians were laid off at the Ministry of State.
That's correct.
The 207 from the Ministry of Transport, somewhere around 100 other places. I mean, they sack a lot of people with the perception that those individuals were hired under the CDC administration.
I know that.
And perhaps they were seditions hired. When you come back to power, what kind of are you going to come back to identify those who UP also hire to dismiss them like the Unity Party did to your people you hire? Is that the kind of CDC coming back?
I have known Joshua for the better part of publicly for more than 30 years. Intimately, I have known him intimately since 2005.
Okay.
Before that, we should go to him for help. You know, all the scholarship, all the students doing University of Liberia, Legend of Virtue, go to collect money for him. Chief Conrad, he was generous. We did not know to hear about him.
You always sack the UP people the way to sack
the way now coming to you.
Okay.
CDC from 2005 I began to know the man. The man I know has no retribution in your home. Meaning he can't pay there.
Okay.
The man I know, I don't think he can change to say I can't run after people. Because he's not in the DNA. The man was say before the full announcement that I would turn the country over to them, let them govern, and I will see what they will do. That man will not wish on anybody. Okay. The fake wish on prosecution they're doing to us, I don't believe he will sustain it. The man who waved the Bernie Sanders thing, where they're going, the nature is peaceful. So he's not able to be, contradictory to that nature. That's him. So he will not witch hunt. His government will not fight. Then we have said, I'm not president for seditions. I'm president for Liberians. Liberians need work. He made UP people to protect jobs. As the Minister of Finance, I went there. I changed nobody. Maybe I want to move more Ali because any question water and sewer.
No, but that's what I'm coming to.
Let me tell you something now. The Minister of Finance, where I move nobody. The Deputy Zuo, who's the Deputy Minister of Economic Management today, I'm my own friend, Deputy Zuo and myself slept in the same room working for ACE. I'm my brother friend from way back. I hired him as a consultant, consistent with Joshua philosophy. I got plenty of friends in Unity Party.
So, Minister,
but wait, the Deputy Zuo today is fighting people at Minister of Finance who know Samuel Twe and moving there from there. Would I change Samuel Twe to say I hate Deputy Zuo? It's not in me. That he wait there. If I saw the Bush friend hire somebody, I will tell somebody to move him. I will not do it because I don't get that nature. We are here for public service. So, George, let me be clear. I don't think George will wish on people.
Okay.
We apply the law. If you break the law will go there. But I don't believe you're wish.
Okay, fair enough. So we are at the close of the conversation right here with former Finance Minister Samuel D. Tue. But Minister, just before we go to the phone lines, I want to pick your mind on this whole issue about water supply in the country, water and sewer and Moali management. When they took over in less than 6 months, he said they were responsible for why water was being pumped to Monrovia. What does the record and the data show?
More like he said was unspool, he confessed. Okay. That the whole edifice of the infrastructure that he running on today is CDC. The 16-inch line from fish, what do you call the place?
Wet Plains?
No, not Wet Plains. Fish Market to Tuco at CDC. Trucks, all infrastructure were handed over by this government. So everything more working on is the same thing. But I think he has given credit to the government. There is a video, we can find it. Oh, okay. He has said that he will commend the government for the infrastructure at a level. So he can't claim that. Again, you know why he's supposed to be claiming? Not the foundation that CDC led. That foundation CDC gave you. Can you increase water revenue? Can you increase the contribution of the government to, can you reduce the contribution of the government to water and sewer? At the area there, let me tell you the data. Between 2013 and 2017, when Ellie ended,
okay,
the Ellie government gave water and sewer 7.something $million. That using fiscal outlet for the Ministry of Finance. Or anybody can go there and see. Around 7 million were given to
at end of
2017 to water and sewer.
Okay.
CDC government gave more than $30 million to water and sewer in support. So we doubled the amount of money that went to water and sewer. What they call. So government giving money to the water and sewer can't be nobody can beat CDC in our one because we gave money. The contribution, the goal should be government should not be giving 5.7 million. This year money given to more is 5.7 million. So the last 2 years government gave 10 million. More challenge should be, I want government contributions to start reducing, and want our own financing to start increasing. If more changes that, I'll be the first to come around and say, you are changing.
Because he inherited the foundation on which
he inherited a foundation. So the question, he can't claim on the foundation. What he can claim is to reduce. UP gets 7 million, CDC get 13.5 million. So according to the way I see things going, because they gave me 5 million every year. So the next 3 years, I think we'll go to 6. 6 times 4, the 24 million plus the 10. So UP will be giving 34 million. Because we started at 5 million at 2023. So it's still going up now. So you think more should sit down there and allow the UP government to give him 30 million that he achievement?
More is not doing nothing.
No. So more is resting on CDC's foundation. More should be judged on whether that contribution is coming down, not going up.
It's mostly be on the job.
Listen, I'm giving you the facts. I'm cutting you more work. For Joseph Boakai, he won't grade more. He will not grade more on the work CDC. He will grade more on whether we're collecting revenue, sewage improvement. Recently, I saw a video so that it focus them more too political. My friend, we can have our differences, my friend. Okay. You can put all kind of things, but I got issue with you.
While you were there in the seat at the Ministry of Finance, your seat was hot.
Yeah.
Question is about what was the nature of your relationship with your predecessors, and now today we have Gaff returned at the Ministry of Finance.
Yeah.
What's the nature? How do you describe the relationship you enjoy with the likes of Amara, the likes of Gaff, and for the most part, Buema, who said
these are all my friends. They kept politics dividing us. I just told you, Debuzu, who's the deputy minister, who fired people who are close to Samuel Twe, and Samuel Twe slept in the same room for years.
They said when you became finance minister, you cut off.
No, I just told you how Debuzu, how I cut you off.
Amara.
No, I cut off. Amara and myself, we have some political thing that have been resolved now. Amara,
so while you were there,
let me tell you, Amara is a personal friend of mine. Okay. Some of my success I will attribute it to Amara. I will never malign him. I don't have hatred and envy in me. Nobody I can fear. So now I waste emotion if I hate people. I don't fear all the people. Amara is my friend.
But you see
he took me to no. If I'm in the position, I have the responsibility to use data to present. Maybe Amara felt I was going after him in doing so. I am not. Even now, I'm just telling you, use of goods and services. The 2013 to 20 December 17, the amount of money the government is spending on goods and services, the average is 26% for under Amara and Gafwan. Or that combination.
Okay.
CDC 6 years, we brought our average down to 19%. So from 26% average, goods and services, a share of the budget, the fiscal return, the 6 years of CDC, goods and services were 19 billion. So we freed.
You spend less on goods and services.
So we freed money for roads and the pro agenda.
So your thing is when you say that Amara think you're attacking.
So at that time, now Amara is not thinking I'm attacking him because Amara has come to the notion that let the data speak where they were detware. If the data against you, I will cite it. If the data against me, cite it. We have no acrimony on that one. At that time, there was not an understanding.
So between you and Amara, who the data against?
No, I kept presenting the data to you on your goods and services. The United Party was spending more money on goods and services, scratch cards, all that thing. On the CDC, we call all that one. And when the ratio come down. So the United Party now, this Waka United Party, they are challenged to keep that ratio or bring it lower than the challenge there. So when we come back after the 3-4 years, we're looking at all that stuff. So Amara and my friend, Gafwa is my friend. There is no rivalry between me and Gafwa, me and Amara, me and Buema Kamara. Buema and myself exchange debate with Buema. Something like misunderstanding he had about the debt.
Yes, what Gaff said on his return. He described his return as the soldier man returning back on the battlefield. Mm-hmm. Has he lived up to that?
No. So let me be clear. There's no personal acrimony between me and Gaff and Amara. So get that one clear. I have the moral responsibility to defend the record based on the facts that we have today.
Okay.
Gafwan will have to do the same thing for him. Amara will. We all have listen, some of the data I show you, I have plotted 14 time series data from 2011. I have everything. The data there. The one that for me is there. The one that against me is there. The data is the data. I am able to manufacture it. So we all should respect one another in our respective spaces to know that I have to defend my legacy. Gafwan, we have to show the number. Gafwan, First 2 years, I believe, he playing within CDC framework. He allowing the Social Security, the CSA man to mislead him, all that thing. But he not no wage has been reformed. Harmonization is the law of the land.
Is God that vulnerable?
Gav, you can't change it.
Okay.
I'm not calling people in United Party, high paid people tell Gav, I was sitting down with Samuel Twain when they did harmonization. You can't change it, forget it. I was there. I know what harmonization is. That you can reverse that thing. So that politics leave it. Focus on the big thing. That's why he's not doing. He allow you can change where you go. I will carry salary up, all that thing. And that harmonization reversal. It will reverse harmonization, go by the basic. So leave that debate. God needs to focus on the consequential questions of the country.
Oh, you're allowing Joker to
Well, I mean, all that thing about payroll thing, I just something. I just give you the payroll thing. Or we reform the thing. Why politics now? When we solve that, the question to solve is credit to the private sector. Nobody gets money from banks here. Banks are only financing rice and oil because in 3 months they get their money back. So all the money in the vault, $300 million sitting in bank vault, $250 million sitting in bank vault. You know what they're doing in the country? They just bringing in rice and fuel and oil. And then in 3 months, they get their profit back and then they go back to that cycle. So it's just trade financing. There's not value addition. The Minister of Finance job is not to balance the voucher, it's to work with the banks, work with the private sector to relax constraints. While we are doing roads and power and all that thing, the goal is not to just build roads. The goal is for firms to locate so they can hire Liberians. If we do not lower the binding constraints, I and other people wrote the money capital, we wrote the binding constraint. So we're not binding constraint, but binding constraint relaxation will not lead to poverty alleviation alone. You have to address the major constraints to economic development, credit to finance, quality of human capital development. That is the focus of Mr. Gafran. Not the focus of say we owe people 3 months, teacher 3 months, we broke down, sending consultant to be recruiting 3 months, we got someone to say technical glitch, we got all the technical glitch too, all that thing like that. Look, I think somebody said at the show, you said it at the beginning of the show, you know, part of the window dressing. The yellow machines that are coming is a window dressing thing. Oh, we show you we're working. That thing will not work. The work is reducing poverty. The work is creating jobs. All that other thing is ancillary. Unless Liberians see themselves improving the quality trajectory, prices stable, all that thing that showmanship.
Can the CDC do that better than the United Party?
The CDC has shown that on the governance trajectory, the numbers show it is able to take the hard decisions to lose votes potentially because of that decision, because it is concerned about the generation.
Okay, his name is Samuel Detour, and of course, he's been our guest here right here since 8 o'clock this morning. Karen Oliver, Karen Hagar Gonda, and of course, my name is Abu. Let's go to the phone lines on 0776 104 104 086 500 104 plus 231 86 500 104 are the numbers to call. Put in your course and let's
talk to this person. Good morning. Morning.
Good morning, good morning to your articulate senior guest. I am the former minister of Finance, Samuel Twain.
Go ahead, make your point quick.
Yeah, I'm about to come out and I'm not done the conversation for all the ambience of the United Party to let them feel that a civil rights chain has been to power.
Chief, can you go ahead?
Yeah. To me, in a nutshell, I think the Finance Minister over his reign, the economy was very devastated. He spoke about the issue of harmonization. The harmonization policy is taken. Those are the lower end of the economy now that are working in public service. They were very vulnerable.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Hello?
Let's do you there.
Let's talk to this person from the international line. Hello.
Hey, hello.
You live, go ahead.
I want to say thank you to the astute minister.
Go ahead with your concern. Forget about the pleasantry. Just ask your question directly. We'll press return.
Yeah, so I want to ask Minister Tue, were there money for the rules from from Sacre-Pied that you signed to from Sacre-Pied to Grand Zetro or Toastan?
All right, thank you very much.
Was there money allocated for that?
Thank you very much. Let me take this. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Yeah, this is my girl calling from on the Ulu. I want to talk with the Samuel Tue. Samuel Tue, You made a lot of honor your wife, particularly you as the finance minister. You see, certain things were happening, and you didn't know, perhaps, but it expected from us during the campaign when we were campaigning for President Weah. Second time, some people putting in our faces concerning slashing of salary. We tell our poor people now, though, where the poor people want somebody, poor people. And it was there. I want to come and play with one round, and get your yes, and John, we're slashing our salary every month. And even my
Let's talk to this person. Good morning, David King.
Yeah, good morning. You guys go on the US environment on the top. Yeah, Mr. Minister, I got one question to ask you. My question is, I want you to please tell us where the government or your wife secure the funding for the RIA. What are you 100% done?
And this other caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Stewart. This is hello.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, this is Jerry Gay, and I call you from Broad Street. I want to ask the finance minister, Mr. Tua, you said the CC government paid, let's say, build 8 hospitals in the Southeast. Can you list some of these hospitals?
Okay, thank you very much.
Let's talk to.
Let me just squeeze this. Good morning, Peter Lynn.
Yes, good morning.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and let me say good morning to the software, and I join you guys for our time. You know, I actually want to commend the minister for. Are you getting me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to commend Minister 12 for his level of professionalism. You know, this is something that everybody is lacking of. Because whenever they go in the studio, they always sit and say, the CC destroy the country. They don't admit anything.
Okay, thank you very much. Hey, God, that's complimentary. Can you go ahead?
Okay, let's talk to this person from the international line. Morning.
Yeah, good morning. How are you this morning?
30 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay, 2021, former President George Weah, when Lofa County going along, Mansambada home.
Hello?
I go to supply. Yeah, hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. 2021, former President George Weah went Lofa County going along while home around Mansambada home. President George Weah did a groundbreaking ceremony there. We should to supply Olahu, Fuya, and Bonjama. So my question is, can the minister please explain to us the status that the former government?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me squeeze.
We have the public. Quickly.
Who on here?
Yeah, let's hear you. Go ahead. Hello.
Okay, go ahead. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Abu, and let me say good morning to your studio guys. My name is Eugene S. Jobo Jr., and I call you from Capital Bypass. Abu, I just want for the minister to tell the Liberian people, his involvement into the CC involvement into
Your line is terrible. What did you say? What was your question about?
Yeah, the involvement of the CC government related to the full auditors debt, the full auditors, and the three missing boys from osmosis.
Let's talk to this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead.
My name is Yopiko for Brochure. Good morning, Mr. Tua.
Good morning.
Yeah, my brother, I want to ask you a few questions. I'll be slapping. Our former minister, President Minister, Kafon, they will be people 2 or 3 months ahead. Why you don't count that in your vision? And then secondly, I got problem when you know you come to
the first question. The first question, why you not having your vision to pay people 2 months ahead? Why you not having your vision to pay people 2 or 3 months what Kafon they're going to do, and then he's not doing. And then secondly, you know you come to see for the president, you come that you come
Okay. All right, let's talk to Marcy. Good morning.
Good morning, my minister. Mr. Tua, good morning. Mr. David, listen to the guy. No, listen, they don't have my $1. It's serious. Mr. Tua, I'm saying the solar panel, I want to make the current people and bad people on this platform. Who brought the solar panel leg? I want to let people know the solar panel leg.
All right, Marcy. All right.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to the minister in studio. Mr. Afternoon, you to order. I just have simple thing on mind. Honorable Minister.
Please be audible. Please be audible.
Okay, good. Honorable Minister, let me say good morning to you. My name is last story. But concerning Minister, you are performing very well, and I understand I have no doubt in your ability. With all of these data for Honorable Minister, you are here capacity as a Minister of Finance. Looking at the unity party that money will last, propaganda is used just to walk away into power. Minister, my question is, why you didn't put all of the mechanisms into place to make sure that the lives of the unity party be demystified and the keep rebuilt in order to basically continue their good material and elaborate people for the betterment of the people?
Why you didn't?
Thank you. Let's talk to this person from this 0776104104. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Abu.
30 seconds, go straight to the point.
Yeah, this is good morning to our brilliant father minister, the best father minister of all time. I'm coming up on the board of Sabu Rasta. Mr. Minister, first I want to say sorry on behalf of the people of Kwefu and Lagro and Lie. Some of the Minister, the people laughed or they accepted on the government and told them to go to the ground and they are going to also now. They are doing the water with the man. I want to say sorry for what we did to you. I can show you that Minister now and show you. Thank you for the show.
Thank you very much. Let's take 3 more calls after this. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu Shari, and good morning to legendary people. This is Safa Manamba Janagana. I call from Kijo this morning, Grand Kipma County. I just want the minister to list the number of rules that were undone by the CDC-led government that were already signed, into an agreement. I just want the minister to highlight that.
Okay, let's talk to this person. Morning from the international line.
Yeah, hello. My name is Bogata. I'm calling from Aspura. I've been following the conversation, and a few things I want to touch. Bulk of the issue, the lies that have been in the corridor of our conversation, is largely due to the journalists, because journalists refuse to ask the hard questions. There is just one line that is always pushed by the United Party propaganda. They always say the CDC destroyed the economy. The CDC refuse to add a half destroy the economy. Just look at 3 macro indicators, right? And the economy has 3 macro indicators to show you whether the economy is bad or the economy is good. And we'll look at the GDP growth, inflation, and the GDP size, right? So all of United Party, from 2012 to 2017, GDP was 2012 was 9.9%. In 2017, when it turned over to the TDC, it dropped to 2.5%. That is 74.7 decline in the economy. Inflation in 2012 was 6.9. In 2017, inflation was 12.5. Okay. That is a 1.2% increase in inflation for the United Party. Real GDP was 800 million. In 2017, it went up to 900 million. That is 12.5 growth. On the overall, right? In the overall, United Party turned over a low group with a high inflation. Then let me tell you what the CDC turned over. Right? The CDC GDP was 4.6%. That's what the CDC turned over. So from 2%.
What did the CDC tell the inflation numbers?
The inflation, inflation was 12.
When the minister is here, you fix that. So let's take. Let's take Unity Party who's in Kiev. He's known. So let's take UP, and of course, and he's also with the former speaker Tyler Party as well. So let's hear you, Hussein.
Yes, so it's an extra privilege. Let me say that pleasant good morning to you, Abu. Good morning from the Minister on studio. Abu, this is Hussein Kewo. I call from Jacobston. So let me ask the question quickly. Minister, do you believe that the law is precedent? And the reason I'm asking,
the law is what?
The law is precedent. When you go to the court, laws are precedent. Abu, follow the case of Brandon Samuka. Yes, laws are precedent. Similar to the case of Brandon Samuka. Presidential mandate, as he said, right? So, can you say in the public manner that the law is precedent, and when the precedent is set, will you accept those precedents?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me ask this quiz, this caller. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Abu. Good morning.
Quickly.
My name is Bob Kukwe. I call you from Montreal. Let me extend my thanks and appreciation to Minister Tue. I think we are doing more or less a correction for the United Party, something we should have done in the last 6 years that should have saved our government, the kind of clarity now we're making. Because every time I listen to the United Party and Minister Pia.
So you think you didn't do that?
No, we didn't do much. All of these things Mr. Tue is saying, how we done it the last 6 years, I bet you United Party would have smelled anything they call power here. Because all they have done to this country is that they've lied to us. They stated that CDC destroyed this country, but they cannot show you a single thing that the CDC have destroyed.
Okay, thank you very much, Boy Coco. I have to hold you there. And folks, because of time, we're 10 minutes above our time, so let's go across to our studio guest, Mr. Tue. You're listening to the views from across. I know the phones are still ringing. A lot of my people want to weigh in, but because of time, we can't. So how do you respond to?
Yeah, I hope I can cover any of the questions. Did we counter the propaganda? The answer is yes. Everything I'm saying here today,
how well?
No, everything I'm saying here today, I have said it 100 times. From 2018 to now, the well was poisoned. The market was noisy. Can you go study in the market? No, it's too much. The party in power, people believe many of the lies. So when the agents of that same government are clarifying, the anger was there, the Unity Party was benefiting from that distraction, that pollution of noisiness in the country. All the 16 billion lies, all the 25 million lies, everything. We now, even today, when you ask the Unity Party people, it's 16 billion missing, they will not answer. Why can't you? Somebody say that you can cause the confusion. I truly, because when you go to this show, you don't ask the hard question. Pierre, is it true? Do you believe that you still believe that 16 billion was missing? Ask him the question. So the journalist is that boy on the line is a brilliant Liberian. He said the confusion is because you know the facts, and you as journalists, you're not fact-checking the public. You're supposed to be holding us to fire with the data and your understanding of the facts.
We asked the question. We're not the custodian of the data.
You should
to provide your data.
You should have the economic data. You got economic journalists. Of course. You got Wall Street Journal in Liberia. Who is the economic journalist? Freedom, KOKFM, Spoon, all the people should have economic journalists who are verifying data.
We have economists in the background.
No, when they say growth, they're telling you the growth. We inherited 2.5%. We gave 4.7%. We inherited 110 million reserve. We gave 222 million.
He wants the journalist to be the PR.
No, you're the journalist. You should know what is a fact, not PR.
So that's why we asked you the question to tell.
No, if I say it, I mean saying it. Your economic reporter should confirm, like a fact checker. Yes, growth was higher on the CDC. That part of the clarification that the man talking about.
You blame the journalist.
Yeah. So to those who are there was a lot of information that we put out there on the 16 billion. Now, Freddie Brown broke the 9 billion story. He said 9 billion missing. Everybody started investigating. Minister of Justice. No, now he's listening. Follow the sequence. You got to know. Let me tell you the fact. Freddie Brown have to say 9 billion missing. Now 16. Okay. 9 billion were missing. Minister Dean, Justice Minister said through a press release and people to say, if any money is missing, the government will investigate them and will bring the perpetrators to justice. I want government statement there. Okay. Is there a problem with that statement?
It's a fair statement.
It's a fair statement. Okay. Statement number one. Because people said there were 3 multiple statements from CDC that contradictory. I just gave you statement number one. If the government from the Ministry of Justice, if money is missing in the country, we will investigate. First statement. Usual number, second statement. The EABC, we believe the government under Madam Salim may have printed and brought into the country between $15 to $16 billion.
Your information minister.
The government, he gave it fact to, the government printed between 15 to 16. Let me ask you, is there a problem with that statement?
What do you think?
No. I'm saying the minister of information is relating a factual occurrence of 15 to 16 billion. He won't say 15 because it could be any one of those. So he said between 15 was brought into the country. Statement, true fact. Yes. Addition to minister of information statement, we investigate if money is missing. Usually say if there were about 15 to 16 that came into the country. The next day, what the hell I'm saying? 16 billion missing. How can anybody infer from Eugene's statement that because 15 to 16 billion were missing, you upgrade Philip Brown 9 billion? So, Philip Brown said 9 billion, but Eugene said 15. So all the 15 that came, let move from 9 billion, we'll go to 16 billion. So the two statements from Minister Dean and Minister Nambwe were consistent, factual. Minister Tua went okay and said no 16 billion missing. Those three statements, show me the contradiction between them. We investigate money is missing. The fact is that about 15 billion came into the country. None of those 15 billion are missing. Three statements were consistent in the same direction. People say there were too many multiple spokesmen. People went to the president. Religious people went to the president. Your people speaking too much. The three people who spoke consistently in the same direction. We investigate. The fact, we know the fact about 15 billion came in the country. Eugene never said any of that money was missing. Today, you journalists still believe Eugene said money was missing. And I said no money was missing. So that part of the clarification. Let's go to some of the issues that we have time to talk more on these things. Let's go to some of the issues that were raised there. Somebody asked me about the dam in Lofa there. Yes, in 2023, the president went there and did the thing. So the solar farm is currently under construction.
Okay.
The solar farm is currently under construction. The first phase has been completed. The distribution is done. And the generator has also been completed. The 2 diesel generators have been purchased. So that's an update. That project coming. Here's another situation where the president carried an electricity project to Lofa County, consistent with too many of the other things that the president did. Okay.
The 3 missing boys and the
okay. This is part of the garbage that we have to clear. We accept all that territory. CDC government, George Weah cannot kill mosquito. Nobody of consequence in CDC government can kill fly.
So, Minister, let me save your breath on that and play what the Inspector General of Police and other elements of this Unity Party government said in that regard.
Thank you.
Now with the missing boys, as
this is the Inspector General of the Police.
One person has been identified, and the body that was retrieved was carefully analyzed. There were no body parts seen to be missing, which would have indicated some ritualistic activities around it. The body corpse was intact.
Okay. That was what the UP government said after the propaganda that these boys were abducted for ritualistic purposes.
So that boy who called, these boys are adamant they will never listen to truth because they are intimidated by fact and truth. There were people who voted against CDC because of the 3 missing boys. Today, the minister of the IG, and you can play a voice, he said there were no death inactive like that. Nothing happened there. Nobody ritual, nothing. He just said you can play it. So the question I have now, the people who voted against all for that, but what do you say? Somebody said sorry to me. I didn't want to say sorry. So the fear of the Unity Party is that as we continue to unmask and dismantle this edifice of propaganda, it will be against the Unity Party because people will say, but why you put up against the government against? You're lying on the government. So that's why. So that the answer to that I mean, no auditor debt bill, all that thing. Somebody say, okay, the harmonization into the question one woman call. It's true. I told you, Nation saying you harmonize our vote. Nobody harmonized next vote. We protected teachers. John, we have put volunteer teachers on the payroll. He raised volunteer, temporary teacher. He put them permanent on the payroll. Around 2,500, more than that. They did not show. We were fixing the education system, the structural issues there. People 4% deduction was made. And because when we combine the two things with taxes, people have to pay their taxes. So a combination of the Social Security deduction and the tax that people were paying, which was they were not paying on a general allowance, they were accusing CDC. So let's say basic salary was $50. General allowance was $150 for a typical person. $50 is tax. The $150 not tax. When we put $150 to $50 and tax it, and money will come from there. Okay, so everybody paying their fair share, including the judiciary. Everybody should pay the taxes. So because you see 4% on your social security deduction and your taxes to the government, then you say we call your salary. Okay, under the UP, let UP stop that tax that they're collecting now. The government should maintain UP that all the taxes that civil servants are paying because of harmonization, let the Union Party call a check and refund it to them. If the Union Party does that, if they cut the taxes and return it and cut the Social Security, I will resign as a member of the CDC and will never participate in any public debate in the country.
Minister, let's conclude with the hospital thing because of time. The 8 hospitals you mentioned.
Okay, yeah, the 8 hospitals are there. I mean, River G, Grand G there. I will not have the whole list, but the public knows 8 hospitals will provide the location. River says, Bapolu, no. Bapolu, the Emirates. I'm talking about a project from the German embassy with 8 Southeastern.
You're talking about the Southeastern.
8 Eastern hospital, they are there. We got a list there. Grand G there. We went to some of them. Yeah. You know, one of my frustrations with the thing.
Because the fast checker are actually asking about it.
Yeah, so we'll get a list. No, listen, I want a fact checker to go check for the 8 hospital construction and the project. I'm the Minister of Finance. I know about all that one. So it's there. It's already there. We operational that one in Riverside. We constructed when we went to some. So they're there. Then the fact checker check.
Somebody asked how far you did the road from Rivers Street to the EW Junction.
Yeah, so the financing is from Afrexim Bank. Afrexim Bank is financing that along with the government of Liberia. We use government resources to finance. We use Afrexim Bank resources. You know, that project was on the East has some road projects on the president where we diverted all the road projects and say, yeah, that financing, that agreement that you get to do road, we'll take that whole project and bring it to RIA. Let's stop the death occurring because of too late on this important road. And that's a good thing. Credit to the president, credit to all the people who
do that at 100%.
The road finished yet.
Financing?
No. We got 50 million in. Another 50 million gotta go. So African already started. Road like that years, 4 years. No government. What are you talking? It's a multi-year government. United Party will start something, we end it, we start something. The issue is when we start something, United Party must say CDC started a road and we get the credit for it. We'll continue it. That's what they want to do. Even though the public know, the bravery, the effrontery for somebody to ask question RI road, knowing that the country know that all job we are road starting. To ask that question, it means you're brave. You think that brave people stupid. They were passing 2 lane road. You know the traffic easement in the country, people talking about, you know what contributing to the easement of traffic, you know that? That 2 lane for RIA. You think I was small thing, I was living in a village. That hell. And Marshall, to move from over there, you to go to West 530 to avoid that traffic. But look at it today. You pass it, you take it for granted. Second nature. So
okay, Minister, we have to wrap up. And of course, so lastly, in your parting comment, and how do you like to live? It has been a marathon.
Yeah.
How do you like to live?
Listen. Again, we have a responsibility to uphold truth and honesty in our public discourse. To allow data to reign and govern. Anything we say publicly should be fact-checked. And we're fact-checking not in the accuracy, the broader context. For example, I made a statement that said, the financing I secured from the World Bank, I signed it. Let me explain that. I discussed with the World Bank a financing scheme where we start moving from 20, 30 million to look at a whole thing over a 10-year period. That's how the board of the World Bank approved 190 million. Based on that conversation with the World Bank, coming from the president of Liberia, said, my man, you gotta do things holistically. Because the president, weird thing was that development too slow in Liberia. The president is a fast-paced man. He pushed the World Bank to take money for you and put it in rule. Agriculture, he went to the Ministry of Agriculture, he saw 400 million coming from donor box. Then we get feed ourselves. So he was very antsy, he was very unsettled and said, I mean, all the people, listen, There were $10.5 billion came into the country in development assistance. Under the Unity Party, they have access to $15 billion to do development. 10.5 from the donors, 5.5 and 4.7 from the budget. CDC had around 7. So CDC says here, CDC budget at 3, CDC donor at 3 billion. Unity Party donor money at 10.5 billion. And we have all these problems. So the president always been saying the pace in Liberia too slow. He pushed the World Bank. Kwema and Pierre Laporte went into his office. He said, I want the bank to move faster. Your word means your re-engineer thing. They were out of that conversation that the bank said, listen, the way the president is too actionable about moving fast, instead of all coming with 10 million, 20 million, let's think about a whole 10 year. We write a proposal and send it to the bank. The board approve that. So they call it a multiple financing framework. Yeah, that how you approve it. So it means everything we're doing now under the Unity Party is coming under that 190. I feel this. We have institutionalized that. We have framework. The day you step out of the 190, you on your own. But I signed 64 million. Wama Kamara signed 30 million. Gafan signed 30 million. How much there? 64, 30, even 190. Still, Gafan coming sign some more on it. You stay in George, we have a 190 framework. That's why I said I signed all that stuff. The same thing with the road network, we have secured most of the financing. So the conversation in the country should be honest. The current people
energy infrastructure.
Energy, CLSG, government started a credit to them. It was a mess. The current LSG boss will tell you we took it for 5%. We did a refinancing on that thing. In fact, Liberia provided more money than the 4 countries. Liberia credited most of the money, most of the infrastructure for CLSG is resting on Liberia's shoulder under George Weah. That an achievement there? That you will not praise the president for that? We're able to send current using testing and seeing more. At least we know we can only receive current. We are tested that he can sell it. So that means we need to carry our capacity to 200, 300 megawatts for hydro. Tubman gave us 66 megawatts. After 50 years of his death, we have only added 22 megawatts to what Tubman did in 1960. Is that fair to the country? And then somebody says Tubman is not the greatest president.
So when we sleep on our stable electricity, who should credit
you? You credit. Oh no. Electricity best that you credit UP and CDC. I will not be unfair. UP gave us, my criticism to UP is that we should have done more.
Averages.
Hold on. We should have done more to the hydro. So my criticism from Manaseli on the team, thank her for the hydro. But I think we should have gone to 150 megawatts.
Thank you, Minister.
We didn't go there. So credit will come to them for that one. We connected 440,000 people. Let people fact check that one. All the electricity stability issues today that CDC, the connection with Unity Party Foundation, CDC, that they continuing. So the electricity debate, they political, they road debate. Nobody going to win somebody on it in 2029.
Okay.
The election in 2029 will be how many jobs are created. Are Liberians reading at the level math? Are TVET people providing the jobs? That will be the central indicator that will work toward to move to 2029.
On the Monday morning edition of the Freedom Morning Rise on Freedom 87.9. This has been a panel conversation. Thanks to all of our friends across Liberia, the community radios. Thanks to Closing the Argument, Hope TV Liberia, Pupa TV, Terra Online TV, Truth Lens, Women Voices, Spark TV, and the list goes on. Hey, guys, we gotta go home.
Yes, Abu. Yeah, it was a marathon, but we've done what we could do, and at least some of those things have been clarified to the public. And we will continue on these conversations as we push towards another general elections in our country. So until we are here tomorrow, let's keep the peace of our country. This country will not burn.
Okay, until we see you tomorrow, do have yourself a wonderful time. Bye-bye.